Right. We're live. We're live at StreamYard to stream hard. We have a bit of a conversational topic on our minds we must discuss. Right. I'm wait for this joint to populate. Let the people populate. Let them populate. Populate, populate, populate. Right, we gonna wait. Alright, what's good, Milo? What's good, Milo? What's racking with you? Racking with you. Gonna have a little discussion over here. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we're gonna go to the joint. Let people populate. Let them populate. Y'all. Give it a minute, people. Give it a minute. We'll get to the topic of discussion shortly. Give it a minute. Get my stuff in order. I've been drinking wine, I must confess. But I bet you guys have too. So don't judge me. Don't judge me. Because even if you do, I'm still going to sip this wine in front of you. I am a trickster. Dang, this fucking laptop is slow. Get a new laptop. Alright, let me see if I got the joint. Is this the joint? No, that's not the joint. There's the joint. Alright. Save that. We're gonna get right into it. Alright, was good, Joshua. Was good, Milo. No, I don't remember you. Was good, Boxing Monk. Was good, Jax Pax. You're on beer? Alright. Cheers to that. But I've been seeing that this has become a prevalent topic. The only person that I've heard say this is Teofimo Lopez, that they talking about a tune-up fight before they fight. And I got mixed feelings about it depending on where it came from, because it's really not a good look if one guy is ready to go and another guy is talking about tune-up fights. It's not a good look. It's not. But I didn't see Vasyl Lomachenko say that he wants a tune-up fight. I just saw Teofimo Lopez say that that's what they telling him. I would have to get confirmation from the other side before I could really decide how I feel about that. Because at the end of the day, what a lot of these channels is not saying is that ain't nobody down to spend $80 on a boxing match right now. That's what a lot of them not saying. Which I think is silly. I mean, I do think it's silly that, like, you do realize it's a pandemic, right? And you do realize that most American, well, not most, but a damn whole lot of them is unemployed right now. So, I mean, what are you expecting to happen? Do you think that these are ideal times to stage a pay-per-view? That's what I'm wondering. And I'm open to discuss anybody. I'm open to discuss this with anybody right now. Go take this link. Gonna put it in the description box, and we gonna rotate, because anybody that has a difference of opinion, by all means, come and talk to me. Really wanna argue? Can you argue too? So we can fucking argue. Yo, y'all heard Mark singing, man? That motherfucker should go on American Idol. That motherfucker got a voice. Mark from Unrivaled Boxing Talk. His boxing talk is unrivaled. Well, I don't know if Teofimo's overweight. If he is, that's his problem. But what I'm saying is that I don't think that people view, there's certain situations out there, right? Look, there's times when a guy ducks another guy, right? There are those times. It's not that it doesn't happen. But what I'm saying is every situation is not cut and dry. I give you the example of Shakur Stevenson and Josh Warrington. I don't think that Shakur Stevenson is scared of Josh, and I don't think that Josh is scared of Shakur. The problem is that Shakur wants a certain amount of money to fly over there, but at the end of the day, to those people, he ain't worth that. You know what I'm saying? Well, really, I ain't even going to say that, because the story is that it was the offer that was turned down was on his side. So that's another story. That's another story. But the most I can say is I'm looking at this situation, and this is a pay-per-view fight, and that's what stands out to me about it. This is not your run-of-the-mill fight. This is a fight that was supposed to go down in Madison Square Garden. It was supposed to be a pay-per-view, a ESPN pay-per-view, and that off top changes things, because you can't ask motherfuckers to pay no $80 right now for no pay-per-view fight. Obviously not. And even when we come out of this shit, the majority of people are still not going to be in a position to spend $80 on a pay-per-view. That's just the truth. Maybe I can, because I've done pretty well. I haven't missed a day of work since this shit started, to keep it a bean, but everybody can't say the same. Mark doesn't have the vocal prowess to challenge me. Mark, don't challenge me. Don't challenge me. Let me get my Van Damme shit out. Motherfuckers don't even know what I'm talking about. But that's what stands out to me, that it's a pay-per-view, dog. It's not a regular fight. It's a pay-per-view. And you a damn fool if you thinking that either ESPN is just going to give away that fight, or that now, or even 2 months from now, is an ideal time to stage that fight. People are going to be recovering financially from having not worked. But, you know, you can't talk like an adult to these people, because I gather that most of them are not adults. You know what I'm saying? That's what I gather. You know what I'm saying?
Don't
Mark,
challenge me.
Mark, I'm telling you, Mark, hold on.
Don't challenge me.
Don't challenge me, Mark. I'll sing my fucking ass off or die trying.
Don't challenge me.
Don't challenge me, Mark. Y'all don't even know where that's from. But yeah, it's a common sense question, man. Do you think that now, or even a month from now, or even 2 months from now, in July, do you think that people will be in a financial position to pay $80 to see a fight? Furthermore, do you think that society itself will be in good enough condition that you can start staging major events with thousands upon thousands of people sitting right next to each other? You can't ask these people to think like adults, because they're stupid. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I've seen the kind of conversations that's going on. I've seen what people are saying, and I'm thinking to myself, like, y'all motherfuckers must just be retarded. This is not a case of ducking. This is not a case of he said, she said. Right now, it's obviously not a good time to put on that fight. But even 2 months from now, it might not be a good time to stage that fight. You motherfuckers don't know when boxing is going to come back more than anybody else. How you going to sit there and think that, oh, yeah, they should just give it? Like, I talked to a motherfucker on Twitter, and his solution was that they should put it on regular ESPN. I'm like, see, this is what's wrong. This is what's wrong. Mark can't challenge me in this sing-off, dog. Mark cannot challenge me. I'm fucking Mariah Carey out here. All right? I am Mariah Carey out here. I mean, really, realistically, I would say that the ideal time to put that fight on would have to be towards the end of the year. But that's provided that society itself is in a position to where you can have that kind of fight. And we don't know that. Right here and now, we don't know that. Like, so anybody jumping to conclusions is already going to look funny. Like, Brody, you realize that was going to be a pay-per-view, right? You realize that watching that fight was going to cost about $80 a pop, assuming you wasn't going to go. So what makes you think that that's going to be one of the first fights we see? It's a common sense question. That's all I'm saying. It's a common sense question. You ain't seriously thinking that off top, once they lift the bans, that's going to be the first fight you see. Like, you got to be childish to be thinking like that. Like, why would you think that? Why, like, bruh, like, why would you think that? You shouldn't even be thinking that. Bro, I don't even take that dude seriously no more. That dude is an idiot, dog. Like that dude, I'm talking to answer Milton's question. Like, I don't. That dude is a moron. Unless somebody sends me in a soundbite that they want me to do a video about, I don't check for the stupid shit he say because that dude is a moron. Like, bro, like that dude is a moron. Like, I ain't even gonna waste no time on that guy. That dude is a buffoon. Yeah, like they acting like, it's the financial demands of both the fighters that make it a pay-per-view. Teofimo Lopez wants a certain amount of money for that fight, and Vasyl Lomachenko wants a certain amount of money for that fight. And because of those demands, that's why it's a pay-per-view, because of the financial demands. The only way you're going to get that bread is if, all right, we're going to put it on a pay-per-view, y'all could get that money. That's why it's on pay-per-view. But motherfuckers don't like to tell the truth. I noticed, like, motherfuckers really don't like to tell the truth. Like, yo, Brody, tell the truth. Teofimo want to make money too. What you think? He just out here fighting for free because he just a warrior that want to fight for free? Nah. You think he fighting for the same kind of money that Jorge Linares made? Nah, he want more than that. That's why it was going to be a pay-per-view. So stop trying to put it on one side and blame one guy just because your ass don't like him. Because at the end of the day, that's what it really is, and that's all it ever really is. When we look at the truth of the shit, Teofimo want to make money just like Loma want to make money. Why you think it was going to be a pay-per-view? You think that Teofimo was down to fight Loma for the kind of money that Linares got? No, he's not. I'm sorry, but no, he's not. The shit is childish. To me, it's childish. Like, to me, it's like, what am I talking to? Like a 20-year-old, an 18-year-old? You don't understand how this shit work? Teofimo want to make money. Bob Arum want to make money. Lomachenko want to make money. That fight was going to be at Madison Square Garden. It was going to be billed as a pay-per-view. Do you think that a month from now, or 2 months from now, or 3 months from now, we going to be ready to start hosting big-ass fights? Because I'll tell you right now, I don't. I think we could get some little ones in there, some little boxing matches, but not no big shit, not no shit like that. And then if you can't stage it as a pay-per-view, motherfuckers can't get the money that they was trying to get by fighting each other. Why you think they fighting each other? Like, yeah, there's legacy. Of course there's legacy. Of course there's wanting to be the king of the hill. But they fighting for bread, dog. What you think? Lopez is going to take that fight for the kind of money that Walters got? Or he going to take that fight for the kind of money that Mariaga got? Like, wake the channels out there need to grow up. That's what need to happen. Y'all need to grow up. Not liking somebody is not reason enough for you to start making shit up or playing the blame game. If you have a preponderance of evidence, I understand. But at this point in the juncture, we're dealing with a global pandemic, all right? It is fucking up a whole lot of paper for a whole lot of people. And it is silly to look at that situation and try to make it like it's a regular. It's not a regular situation, bro. They was going to fight up until COVID hit. They was going to fight. You trying to make it, you trying to act like they wasn't going to fight. They was going to fight. Shit is childish to me, man. It's childish to me. Like, what you, like, y'all really acting like Lopez was gonna go in there and he was just fighting for the honor and the glory. That motherfucker want money too. I ain't mad at him, by the way. I'm not mad at him. I understand. But you acting, y'all cats, I see these channels and they acting like Lopez is just gonna go in there and fight for some Mariaga money. What planet are you on, dog? Shit is childish. Some good fucking wine, man. Shit. Pays the fighters is mostly comes from the gate, Bob. That I know, Eric. That's the funniest shit. I'm. This is what I'm talking about. Shout out to Eric. This is what I'm talking about. That gate money. They cannot have no audience there, bro. So what money are they gonna generate to pay the fighters? What money are they gonna generate to cover the cost? Motherfuckers will sit there and act like one motherfucker fighting for money and one motherfucker not fighting for money. No, they both fighting for money, bro. The both of them. They both fighting for money. Yeah, word, boxing, word. Like he was gonna go in there and fight for a fish full of rice, like the motherfucker on Ip Man. I go ahead. I was good, Jose. Was good, Red Glove. Y'all got the floor.
Hey, what
What's
up?
up, Ray?
I just want to say something about that real quick because, you know, with the WWE, they're doing their thing without the crowds, from what I understand. Like, I started thinking about it because at first I was like, why can't boxing do the same thing? But there's a very big difference with boxing and the WWE, and that is the WWE, they can they can make a lot of their money off of the merchandise, you
Yes.
know, out of sight, out of mind. So it works for them to be in the public eye because
Also
that's
the
gonna,
commercials, bro. Also the ad space. Remember
yeah,
that. Like you could make money off of the commercials that's airing during your telecast, but if you talking about a fight that was going to be a pay-per-view fight, bro, they wasn't going to try to make money off commercials. They was going to try to get money off of the gate. They was going to
yeah,
try to get money off the pay-per-view. They wasn't going to get no ad revenue. It's a pay-per-view. That's why when I see people talking about, oh, Loma this, oh, Lopez that, I'm like, bro, like what planet are y'all on, dog? They can't fight right now. I don't like you know what the funny shit is? They fuck around, take a tune up, motherfuckers gonna start talking shit, right? And I'm with the whole time I'm thinking, like, you don't realize it's a global pandemic. What you telling me is that you didn't think that they was gonna fight. That's what you would be telling me. Like, oh,
yeah.
he fucking him. Like, man, grow up, man.
But all I was saying was with boxing and the merchandise, it works way different. You know, it's because boxing is not as big as, you know, pro wrestling. You know, pro wrestling, a lot of their stuff comes because of kids.
Yep.
There's nowhere near as many kids watching boxing as there is kids watching wrestling. Like for every boxing fan that's a child, you probably got about 1,000 wrestling fans that are children. So like they can't push the merchandise to make up for the you know what they would lose in ticket sales. You
Yeah.
know that, and that's the thing that's unfortunate about boxing not being, you know, as big as it once was. And then not only that, but with WWE, it's one promotion running everything. Whereas with boxing, you got Top Rank, you got PBC, you got Matchroom, and you know
This is what I
it,
would say. The biggest problem that boxing has, and this is going to sound crazy, right? But the biggest problem that boxing has, and I'm not going to say around the world because around the world boxing don't have that problem. The biggest problem that the American boxing scene has is that Americans are fucking cheap and ignorant. To keep it a bean, motherfuckers sit here arguing all day about Errol Spence and won't buy his fight. I know that for a fact because when I was on Facebook, I was arguing with a motherfucker on Ring IQ after the Mikey Garcia fight. I asked the motherfucker, yo, you bought that fight? Motherfucker lied about it. Big Errol Spence fan, type of motherfucker that'll sit there for 8 hours arguing about Errol Spence. But for all that bullshit you doing, you ain't buy his fight. I told y'all motherfuckers I wasn't gonna buy his fight, and why? I'm not a fan of him. But you are, and you ain't buy that fight. You a fan of him. You defend him. You argue in his favor. And you ain't buy his fight. And that's the problem. Now, when they finally made a fight that I liked, I bought it. And that was Spence versus Porter. I bought that. That's a good fight. Try to sell me no motherfucking mismatch and think you're gonna get my money. No, you're not. You're not.
well, that's the thing. They try to control the narrative to the point where they get other people to reach into their pockets, but they themselves, they ain't gonna do that. They're trying to. A lot of them, the ones who especially have channels, they're trying to get the super chats and stuff, but they ain't even willing to spend that on the pay per views.
I don't.
Unfortunately,
That's what I was going to say. That I don't even think that the motherfuckers that big up all them particular fighters, they don't buy them fights. Like for example, Pacquiao Thurman. And bear in mind, you know I don't like the PBC. Like anybody that follow this channel know I don't support them at all. But I thought that was a good fight, so I bought that. Like that's a good fight. It's a good fight because Pacquiao is old, but Thurman, I don't know if he's dedicated. So there's actually a potential for this to be competitive. So I bought that. But if you giving me some Garcia versus Spence, nah, that's a mismatch. I'm not paying to see that bullshit. You crazy. Now, when it comes to Teofimo and Loma, of course I was going to buy that. Of course, that's a good ass fight. That's a good fight. I'm going to buy that. It's a lot like I think what the promoters don't realize, right, is there's a lot of little fights. If they could play with the price point, there's a lot of little fights that could happen that could be lucrative. And I'm not talking about putting them on a major pay-per-view, but I heard it said by Eddie Hearn that like certain fights might end up on YouTube at like £2. And I'm thinking like, yo, you know what? If a motherfucker told me tomorrow that Yordani Schoolgus was gonna fight Alexander Vesputin, just as an example, and I gotta pay $2 to see it, yo, I'll pay. I'll pay to see it. $2? Yeah, I'll pay to see that. Now imagine if you got 1 million motherfuckers paying $2, or you got 10 million motherfuckers paying $2. You're gonna make bank, especially right now that you can't get no gate money. I don't think the promoters realize every fight shouldn't have the same price point. It shouldn't. Not every fight. Every fight shouldn't be $80. I'm gonna put it like that.
I agree.
Yeah, don't you guys think that the pay-per-view model is a little outdated? Like, I heard even WWE switched to subscription. Like, right now is the time that the zone should take over the entire market.
I agree with you. I agree with you to an extent, but there's still money out there. It just depends on the fight.
And the same thing that that I was mentioning, they can rely on the merchandise. Like how many Errol Spence action figures are out there, and how many yeah,
Word.
and then think about how many Hulk Hogan action figures there are out there, and he's retired. You know what I'm saying?
No, but
So
that's true though. That's true though. Merchandising is a big arm of revenue that motherfuckers don't realize. Sometimes you make a lot of money off the merchandise. You might not have even made the same kind of money. You get residuals off the merchandise. Motherfuckers still be buying Hulk Hogan action figures 10 years later. You still getting money off of that.
yeah, so they that's the thing. Like they really have a one up on a lot of other, or at least combat, because like even MMA, I don't think they make, I don't think they can make that much off the merchandise, not in comparison to WWE. Like even the NFL, I think they'll be able to do games without crowds and make a whole lot of money, because people still buy the jerseys, people still buy the the beanies and all that stuff. But when it comes to boxing, it's different. You don't, like I said.
NFL is a ratings monster. That's the thing you got to realize. The NFL is a ratings monster, right? Like to buy ad space during a Super Bowl, it's millions of dollars just for a couple of seconds, just for you to buy some ad space. So the NFL could get money off of the commercials, right? That's an arm of revenue that they could get, not even counting the merchandise, which is a major arm of revenue. Motherfuckers buying football jerseys, you're going to get money off of that. But when it comes to a boxing match that was supposed to be billed as a pay-per-view, you tell me what's going to compensate for the gate, and you tell me how they going to make money when motherfuckers, like I'm one of the lucky ones. My job, like I still been working. I'm one of the lucky ones that got to still keep working. But a lot of motherfuckers, they ain't got no job right now. So how do you propose staging the fight? Like how you going to pay the fighters, bro? Because the fighters want to get paid. And motherfucker act like, oh, only one fighter want to get paid. What you think Teofimo down to going there for free? You think he going in there for Linares money and shit? Like, nah, he want M's too, dog. So you tell me, if that was going to be a pay-per-view that was going to happen at Madison Square Garden, and we in the middle of this shit, when do you think they're going to be able to start staging fights again?
Yeah, that's a good point. Because like and the thing is, like Terrence Crawford, for instance, I like Terrence Crawford a lot, but I have to say I'm disappointed that he's saying that if he's going to fight with no crowd, he wants to be paid more money. To me, that's not a smart business move. Like,
and I'm gonna tell you once again, Red. The reason for that is because he gets a cut of the gate. That's why. And that's why. Look, when Teofimo said that he's not down to fight without a crowd, right? I understood that. I'm not knocking him. Like, yo, I get it. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, Lopez is ducking Loma because he doesn't want to fight with. Like, no, that's childish, bro. That's their job. They trying to get money. How am I get money when it ain't nobody here?
Yeah, that's the thing. The money has to come from somewhere, though. Yeah. You can't just say the money just doesn't come out of nowhere. So, like, and that's the thing. Like, I'm a boxing fan. Like, I know a lot of people they will just ride with whatever. And Bud Crawford is one of my favorite boxers, but that kind of upset me that he said that. But I mean, I still rock with him. I still ride for him, but it's just something that I don't see eye to eye with him because I don't think it's in the best interest of the fans. Like, I think what he should do is kind of work and like do a goodwill kind of thing. Be willing to take less money to give us the fights, and in hopes that once everything gets a little bit more normal-ish, people will remember that and be more willing to reach into their pockets to pay for a pay-per-view.
And this what I'm gonna add to that, right? This is what I'm gonna say, right? It's unrealistic to expect a guy who's 9 to 5 is going in there and punching motherfuckers, right? Going in there and punching motherfuckers and getting punched, and you gonna tell that motherfucker, yo, you gotta take a pay cut. If I went to work tomorrow and I don't gotta get punched in my face, if I went to work tomorrow and the motherfucker told me to take a pay cut, I'm gonna tell that motherfucker I ain't working. So imagine if a motherfucker get punched in his face and you telling him, yo, you gotta take a pay cut. It's like not for nothing, and it's not even a gaslight people about Eddie Hearn, but motherfucker is dead ass telling you the truth. It's certain fighters that could afford to take that hit because those fighters don't be getting that much money anyway. So the loss to them ain't gonna be the same as it is to a Terrence Crawford. This a guy that normally gets about 3.5 mil a fight. Now you could play it two ways. You could go in there and take a pay cut and waste your time, or you could wait. Now, if it was me, what I would do is, I would wait. Like, bro, I ain't going in there to be going in there. You got a lot of motherfuckers in the stable. Tell one of them motherfuckers to go in there. I ain't going in there to be going in there. I'm going in there to get paid. At this point, I'm going in there to get paid. So I understood, like I said, when Lopez said what he said, I ain't even think he was like, oh, he on some ducking shit. Like, nah, it ain't ducking. Like, bro, what you gonna go in there and fight? Boxing is a spectator sport. How you gonna go in there in a spectator sport and ain't no motherfucking spectators?
Yeah.
Don't make sense.
That I don't have a problem with. Like if you just say, like if he would have said, if you can guarantee me around the same kind of money, I'll do it. But if not, I prefer not to fight until we can have a gate again. I don't have a problem with that because I understand boxing is a business and you don't want to bankrupt the business. Like you don't want to put on fights today if it's going to end up costing us fights in the future. So I definitely understand that. I just don't like how he went about it, just trying to get more money. But it's like I said, I still rock with Bud though.
I'm gonna say the reason that it comes off sounding that way is because motherfucker don't know what his contract look like, but he do. That's the thing. Context is key. Motherfucker might not know that, like, okay, well, I get X amount of dollars off the gate. If I go in there now without no motherfucking gate, I damn sure ain't getting that. So what am I going in there to work for exactly? Like, what am I going? I ain't going in there. Look, ain't nobody going to work on the strength. That's the shit that killed me about boxing fans. Boxing fans expect a lot of boxers to just go in there like on the strength. Like, no, motherfucker, you don't get punched in your face at your job, but you ain't gonna go to your job just on the strength. Motherfucker told you gonna take a pay cut when you go to work. You fuck around, don't go to work. Fuck around. Like, bro, you crazy. I ain't working for that. That's what I'm thinking. Like, look, it's certain fights that could happen. Like, I don't see why a Cancio, right? Like a fighter like a Cancio, a fighter like a Machado, those kind of fighters, those should be the first fights that come out because you know what? Them guys don't be making bank like that anyway. So it might actually be an opportunity for them to get the kind of money they was already getting if you one of the first motherfuckers that get out. But it's certain motherfuckers that they make a certain amount of bread and you not going to get that if you jump the gun. And I'm not going to expect you to go in there for less because I wouldn't go in there for less. That's childish. That's like, bro, well, if this dude normally get this, I'm not going to expect him to work for less money. I wouldn't do that. So why would I expect him to do that?
I think right now is the time for mid-tier fighters, like you said. Like, I'm going to watch that Walk versus Johnson fight because there's nothing going on, Maybe it's a good fight.
Word up. Word up. Like I'm not watching for Wak. I'm watching for Eva because I'm a fan of Eva. Like I ain't even gonna guess it. Like I'm a fan of the girl. I want to watch her fight. I'll watch that shit. I don't care. It probably don't even cost nothing anyway. That shit probably only like $20 or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's certain fighters that could get out there right now, that could get out there. Like an Anthony Sims, that you a young fighter, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got a belt, you ain't getting M's. You could get out there, you could be one of the like first ones that get out there. And you gonna make your bread, like you gonna make your bread. But certain other fighters, like, bro, you can't pay this motherfucker. This motherfucker normally walk away with M's. And I'm not gonna expect him to go in there and fight for less than he built himself up to. I'm not going to expect that. Like, if you built yourself up to that point that you getting M's, what I look like expecting you to go in there and fight for a couple $100,000? You see what I'm saying? It's certain fights that's not going to happen. It's certain fighters that's not going to fight right away. I knew that off top. That like, bro, even when they start lifting the bands, don't expect like Dillian White is a real motherfucker. Shout out to Dillian White because that motherfucker actually said, yeah, he willing to fight with no crowd with Povetkin. I'm like, yo, this dude is wild, dog. Like this, he just a wild ass dude, dog. But I don't expect everybody to be like that. I don't expect everybody to be like that. To fight somebody as dangerous, and I know what motherfuckers, oh, he 30 something. Bro, that motherfucker dangerous. All right. He top 10 in the division. That motherfucker's dangerous. Dillian White is a real motherfucker for saying, yo, I'll fight that motherfucker. He's in fucking Portugal training right now, that motherfucker. That's a real dude, dog.
You know who else training right now? And he's constantly posting about it. Andy Ruiz.
Man, he ain't training shit, man. He ain't even the Eddie Reynoso fight is not even final. If it's final, all right, but it's not even final. Like he doing regular shit. He doing treadmill shit.
Yeah, I think that's another reason why we can't expect the fights to happen right away. A lot of these guys are gonna have to go to fat camp. Let's keep it real. Like a lot of them are not doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, I'm not gonna say Andy Ruiz is not, but his track record, I'll put it this way. I'm skeptical.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like I'm gonna say, look, it's like the Dillian White shit. I got a very ambivalent view when it comes to Andy and Dillian. I'm not gonna tell you that I think Andy is scared of Dillian because I don't think that. But what I am saying about Andy is you don't want that fight, not right now. Why you don't want the fight right now? Because you fucking lost your last fight. You don't have a trainer, and you don't want that kind of fight right now. That's what I'm saying. I ain't saying the motherfucker scared. I'm saying that, yo, at the end of the day, you didn't want that fight for right now. So if a motherfucker call it a duck, I ain't gonna argue with him. I'm not. But at the end of the day, do I think he's scared? Nah, scared is a funny ass word. Like if shit was right, he probably would have fought that motherfucker. But right now, you don't want that fight. So if that fight ain't happen, it's your fucking fault. Period. It's your fault. They offered you that fight before Povetkin got it, and you turned it down. I ain't forget. They offered you that shit. You ain't take it. I dig it. But like I said, it ain't about being scary. It's just look, at the end of the day, why the fight ain't happen? Did they offer you good money? Yes, they did. They offered you good money. Did you take it? Nah. Did you reject this for something better? Nah, you didn't. All right, then. It is what it is, bro. Don't come out here talking this and that then, because, bro, you looking real funny right now. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think that Andy Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz is a much better option. Like it's a lot more marketable. I think they're both
No, it's
PBC,
not,
right?
bro. Bro,
You think so?
How?
Well, they're both
So,
on PBC, and they're both
all
like,
right. I'm gonna ask you a question, Jose.
uh-huh.
Do you think they put that fight on pay-per-view?
They could do it. I think they could market since like, look, they're both like the best heavyweights in Latin America, basically, right? I mean, two of them. They could do something like that, you know. I could see it if they had smart marketing. They could
And
sell
I'm gonna
that
tell
fight.
you, this is why I'm gonna tell you that I disagree. After Luis Ortiz put on that career best performance against Wilder, right? What they had him doing? You remember what they had him doing?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah.
What did they have him doing? I don't know. I saw him get knocked out.
All right, I'm
Well,
gonna
they
put
had
it.
him fighting Christian Hammer and who was the other person
Yep,
he fought?
Christian Hammer.
Oh, you're talking
Brad.
about the first fight.
Yeah. After the first fight. See, this is the point that I'm alluding to, right? If they felt that Luis Ortiz was really marketable, right? Or if he actually was really marketable, why the fuck was he fighting on nothing but undercards? He was an undercard fighter before he fought Wilder, and he was an undercard fighter after he fought Wilder. The only time he was a headline was when he was with Wilder. The rest of the time, you were undercard fighter. So you not marketable, bro. Like, all right, you lost to Wilder, he knocked you out, but you did good. If they could really sell you, they would have fucking sold you. So either they can't sell you or they dumb or both. But what I know is after you fought Wilder, you fought on nothing but undercards. You not a top billing. So Andy Ruiz's claim to fame is what? The Joshua fight. What I'm gonna ask is, do you think Andy Ruiz could sell 300,000 buys with Luis Ortiz? And I'll say no. In order for
And
you to get, him to sell, especially in America, which we all know is the market they trying to appeal to, you would have to fucking put Andy in there with Jarrell Miller or somebody. It would have to be that kind of fight to where it's like, yo, one of y'all motherfuckers is gonna lose, and it's not obvious which.
I
yeah,
disagree. Like if I was Al Heyman, I would look at my talent in the heavyweight division, and Andy Ruiz is probably the top talent in the PBC, right? And so you have to build them up because he could be a top contender if he actually got his head straight, you know. And
And
so
I disagree because you was about to fight for the belts you already had, and according to you, you didn't train, so you fucked your own credibility up with that.
and when it comes to Ortiz, I won't be long with this, but when it comes to Ortiz, look, I live in Florida. I live in Central Florida, and I'm surrounded by nothing but Cubans. Okay, none of them know who this guy is. None of them. Like
Wow.
yeah. So I mean, it's just not the fan base just isn't there for Ortiz. I understand he's like a top heavyweight. I'm not taking that away from him. But unfortunately, just because you're one of the best doesn't mean that you're one of the most doesn't mean you're one of the biggest draws.
Yeah.
well, I look at
Go ahead, Jose. Go ahead.
I look at it in terms of marketing. Like these are two fighters who had, good performances against top 10 heavyweights. They had their losses, but I mean, these are two of your fighters. It's easy to get. They're both Latin American. You could do a little flamboyant thing, right? With Andy Ruiz doing the mariachi thing, and like Luis Ortiz could do like some like samba, Cuban music
I'm
thing.
gonna put it to you like this, right? The most predominant Latinos in America is a lot of Mexicans, so it's a lot of Mexican boxing fans. You could fuck around and sell Ruiz, but Ortiz, you're not gonna sell that guy. I'm telling you, you're not. You're not gonna sell that guy. You're not. He don't have fans. The motherfuckers that like him is Wilder's fans, right? And it ain't even a lot of them. That's the motherfuckers that fuck with Ortiz, but they don't fuck with him to where they're gonna spend $80 to see him fight somebody other than Wilder. And even when it's Wilder, they don't want to pay for him like that neither. The pay-per-view the break-even point for his pay-per-view was 1.1 million. They didn't touch that. They didn't even touch that.
It could work, Julius. It could work if they have Andy fight in, like, let's just say like a very Latino city like Dallas, someone like that. Sell it on Andy.
Bro, if you tell me it's Andy Ruiz, right? Tell me it's Andy Ruiz versus shit talking Jarrell Miller to help him sell the fight at the Barclays in Brooklyn. Now you cooking with rice because Andy don't talk. Like, he don't talk. So you got the personality of warm fucking oatmeal, but Jarrell Miller talk a lot of shit, and motherfuckers don't like him. So that's gonna help you sell a fight. But Ruiz Ortiz don't even speak English. Like, he don't even talk. Like, you didn't talk shit to Wilder. You didn't talk shit to Wilder. Like, not even Spanish shit. Like, remember when Ricardo Mayorga was talking shit to Oscar De La Hoya?
Yeah.
All right, you remember that. Even though motherfuckers ain't understand Ricardo, you could still see like, oh, this shit about to be on. He is talking crazy. I don't know what he said. but he talking crazy. Ortiz ain't do none of that. He just stood there, Joshua Pussy. Like, man, shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah, like Mayorga would show up with that cigarette, and you knew that he showed up with bad intentions. You know, talking shit about Vargas's wife and shit like that. So yeah, that is a good way to market somebody who don't speak English. But you're right. All Luis Ortiz does is he bangs his chest, and that's because of the whole King Kong shit.
Yeah. Like, and I'm not trying to knock him. I got a soft, believe it or not, motherfuckers ain't gonna believe I got a soft spot for him. It's only because he looks like my grandfather. God, like he literally looked just like my grandfather. God bless his death. But he don't talk, bro. This dude is not gonna help you sell a fight because he literally don't. You got two motherfuckers that don't talk. Andy don't talk, and Luis Ortiz don't talk. So which one of y'all oatmeal motherfuckers is gonna sell this fight? Cause y'all motherfuckers ain't got no buzz right now. Ortiz ain't got no buzz. You just got knocked the fuck out. Andy told the world I ain't trained for the Joshua fight. Motherfuckers not fucking with you off of that. Cause they like, yo, dog, we paid to see a fight and you told us you ain't trained for it. We ain't fucking with you, bro.
Have you seen the Instagram responses? Like,
terrible.
Yeah, his followers were eating him up, and when he posted some shit about wanting the Joshua, the third Joshua fight.
Word, dog. I'm like, look, Cuban fighters, right, are highly skilled fighters because of their amateur system. They produce a lot of good amateurs, but in the American market, the reason they suffer is because there's not a big Cuban population here. I mean, motherfuckers don't know that, but it really ain't. It ain't that many. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you talking about a Mexican fighter, bro, it's Mexicans all up and down the joint. So you gonna have them fans. You're gonna have that rapport. But like, look at Dominican fighters. You got Felix Diaz. Who else? You got fucking Felix Valera. It's like, bro, and it's mad Dominicans in New York. But I walk down Washington Heights, ask somebody, yo, you know who Felix Valera is? He gonna point at a building because he damn sure ain't talking about a boxer like Felix Valera. Yeah, you live on the 5th floor. He ain't gonna be talking about the Felix Valera that got beat by Bivol because it ain't that many of us out here compared to other shit. So Ortiz, he a good fighter, he decent fighter, but you ain't got the fans, bro. You're not marketable because why was you fighting? If you marketable, then why they put you on undercards? Why you ain't get a headline spot? Why you wasn't top billing if you was marketable? If they felt they could sell you and make money off of you, they would have fucking did that, bro. They used Ortiz like ketchup. Like, yo, you get a burger, you get some fries, and here's some ketchup. You want to undercard of the next motherfucker fight. Like, nah, you not marketable, bro.
I agree with you, but I don't know. The PBC somehow fooled the world that Ortiz was like this very dangerous fighter. And they still believe it somehow. And so they basically the PBC uses Ortiz as almost like a build-up fighter. And I think if I was Al Heyman, I look at my heavyweight list. Andy Ruiz is probably the one who has the most potential. He has problems with motivation, but if you really get it, I mean, there's sparks of genius in his fighting style, specifically because he fights a Mexican fighting style in the heavyweight division. You don't see that often, So if I was Al Heyman,
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't because he's not a volume puncher. The trademark when people think of Mexican fighters, they generally, even though I don't do, I know better. But because people are very linear, when they think of Mexican fighters, they tend to think of volume punchers and pressure guys. Ortiz is none of those things. I mean, Ruiz is none of those things. He's a counter puncher. He don't just go in there throwing bolo punches and throwing to be throwing. He picks his shots. He's a counter puncher. I wouldn't say he has I wouldn't say he has a Mexican style. I wouldn't say that. Well, I don't even like saying that because I feel like that's stereotyping. Like
I say in the aspect of combination and like being dangerous in the close quarters. I mean, maybe you'll disagree with me.
No, I mean, you have a point because that is a trademark that we've noticed about a lot of iconic Mexican fighters like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. You don't want to be mid-range to inside with that guy. That guy eats you alive in there. Just like, Juan Manuel Marquez, that was a good sweet spot for him too. So I dig what you're saying. It's just that's like saying that Like Canelo ain't like that. Put it like that. Canelo ain't like that. Juan Francisco Estrada's not like that. Like he more than that. Them two guys is more than that. So I don't like to generalize like that because it's like, yo, it's good boxers out there that they on a boxing shit that's also Mexican fighters. So I don't like to make it sound like, oh yeah, all the Mexican cats is pressure fighters. No, they not. No, they not. Some of them motherfuckers will box you out here, B. But with Ruiz, the problem is the dude don't talk. He don't talk. Like, so how he gonna sell a fight when he don't talk? The dude, like literally, you can say that he marketable, right? But he don't talk. And then you gonna put him in there with another motherfucker that also don't talk. So it's going the press conference gonna be boring and shit. Like, so y'all not gonna just like say nothing to each other, like say something in Spanish then. Nah, man, you can't.
Does Canelo talk a lot? If I like I said, if I was Al Heyman, which I'm totally not, I think, I mean, or Ruiz. First of all, he's a Mexican heavyweight, so that's like a big gimmick on itself. You don't see that many, at least successful, right? And two, I mean, he's not a shit talker, but you know, he's like kind of lovable, pudgy, you know, sensitive type of guy. I mean, he did fuck it up last time.
All right, then is he gonna do the George Foreman thing? Is he gonna do the George Foreman thing where he becomes a man of the people, that he starts kissing babies and he talk a lot and he'll eat a sandwich and make everybody like him? Like, look, it's Andy, he's eating a sandwich.
It could work.
But no, I see the angle that you're coming from, that there are raw materials there. But what I'm saying is he's not using them. Like when George came back, when George Foreman came back after that 10-year hiatus or whatever it was, he came back like a salesman. Like he was doing Meineke commercials, he was selling grills, everybody liked him, he's smiling, he's saying funny shit, he got charisma. If you just gonna stand there smiling and not talking, bro, you creepy. That's how Andy. Look at the press conference for the Joshua fight. He just standing there smiling and not saying nothing. Like, bro, that's scary. Like, yo, you all right? You want a sandwich? You know what I'm saying?
True.
Real shit, B.
True. Hey, but so you made a video on Fury negotiations between Fury and Joshua. And I'm like, but I really hope they don't have that fight before Fury Wilder 3. I want Fury Wilder 3 out the way, you know.
Bro, they won't. Trust me, they won't. Like, I don't know why. The only reason I made a video about it is because I saw people actually believe in that shit. I was not gonna discuss that shit. I was gonna discuss the Casimiro and Inui shit, but I seen that like, yo, motherfuckers is really talking about this shit. Like, bro, Fury and Joshua not about to fight. Like, they not, bro. And then right after I made the video, motherfucking Eddie Hearn, he came out like, bro, we not negotiating with them. They got to deal with Wilder. Before we can negotiate with them, they got to get Wilder to step aside. And he not finna do that. So it ain't no negotiations going on, bro. Mike Coppinger strikes again with his sources. Like, who the fuck are your sources, bro? Because you just say, so who are your sources, bro? Like, who you be talking to? Shit.
Oh, yeah. If any fight deserves to have no crowd, it's Fury Wilder 3, man. The most unnecessary fight history.
Chill, dog. Fuck around, he win that shit. Fuck around, he win because Fury can't play to the crowd.
Another thing is, if Fury Wilder 3 has no crowd, we can hear what the corner people are saying. And that's very fascinating. You know, I want to hear what they're saying, especially in Wilder's corner.
What you think JD's is telling Wilder in the corner, man? And do you even he could be getting the instructions of his life? He not gonna listen to none of that shit. He gonna go out there and do the same old shit that he been doing. Same old shit.
You know who would be a good trainer for Wilder? I think it would be Klitschko. Now I'm not saying Klitschko could be a trainer, but he did spar with Joshua. Joshua improved. I think Wilder, his whole thing is that he's long and lanky. He needs to play to that strength.
What you really mean is that Wilder has the dimensions to be a crunk fighter, and I actually agree with that. If he had a crunk gym kind of trainer like Jonathan Banks, like Sugar Hill, obviously if Manny Stewart was alive, yeah, but Jonathan Banks, I forgot who he about to train. I think he about to train Badu Jack. Yeah, he did. He is about to train Badu Jack. He's starting to have a lot of fighters. You know, he got Triple G, he got fucking Badu Jack. He helping motherfuckers. But Wilder would be a good crunk gym fighter. I agree with you on that. It's just that, you know, it is what it is. He got a Pilates coach. It is what it is.
Wilder is such a shame, man. 6'7", a guy. I mean, he has a good chin. He takes a lot of fucking blows.
I don't know
But
how
if he
good
was-
his chin is. I don't know how good his chin is. And I'm being honest.
Well, yeah, you have a point. But I mean, if he was 30, 29 years old, I could see a crunk guy making him very dangerous, you know, with those dimensions.
I'm gonna say the reason I say I don't know how good his chin is because he rarely fought punches. Shout out to Greta Maven. I appreciate that. The reason I say that I don't know how good his chin is because he rarely fights punches. Like, in all honesty, he rarely fights strong punchers. Like, he fights a lot of stationary targets, a lot of guys with leaky defense. Look at his resume. It's not my imagination.
I'd say he's a great chin only because he has nothing else. Like, he has no defense. He has no head movement. So what he has to do? All he can do is take punches. So he has to eat up all these punches. Like, I seen him eat up punches from like a lot of guys. Now, granted, they're not punchers, but they were flush.
That's what I mean. If those guys weren't punchers and you eating punches from them, that don't mean that because you not that guy like you not fighting a power guy. Like, you're not fighting a power guy. I don't know. Like, I'm gonna put it to you like this. I don't know that he could take a flush right hand from Derek Chisora, and I'm not joking. I literally don't know if he could take one and not fall down.
Oh yeah, true.
I keep envisioning. Shout out to G Boogie. I appreciate that. I keep envisioning if Derek Chisora hit Deontay Wilder with the same right hand that he hit Tyson Fury with, right? In their first fight. Yeah, I got it. If he would have hit him with that same right hand the way he hit him, bro, he would have dropped Wilder. He would have. I'm telling you, he would have dropped him.
I could see it. Hey, Ring, I want to ask you a question since you made a video on it. You made a video on Mike Tyson coming back. And I asked this question to BDA. What do you think about a league for people like 50 and above, man? I asked him a question. I was like, dude, what if we get some of the old school champions back in the ring, you know, maybe 4 to 7 rounds, headgear, or like charity and stuff. What do you think about that?
You know what the shit is? I don't think that's a bad idea. It's just that there's not a big enough demand for it because how many 53-year-olds want to box somebody? You know what I mean? Like, Mike might want to still do that shit. Another 53-year-old motherfucker might be like, nah, I'm good, bro. I don't want to fucking fight nobody. You need enough people for there to be a league.
Yo.
Oh, yeah, we hear you.
What's up, guys?
Ain't shit. But yeah, like, Mike is just boxing for charity. I don't even see that shit panning out. Like, he just boxing for charity. He'll probably have like 1 or 2 fights with somebody and then go back to smoking weed and growing weed.
Well, what do you think about Evander? Maybe, you know, Evander's still fit. Evander, you know, you get some of the old
but I mean,
back.
like, I feel like it's a disrespect to what they had together to try to fight now that they old. That's how I felt when Roy fought Hopkins for the second time. I'm like, yo, this is an affront to the first fight, even though they were still ranked and all of that. But no, I don't want to see a third. I don't want to see a third. I want to see Mike beat up regular guys. Because even now, I think he'll beat the shit out the average dude walking the street. I want to see Mike Tyson beat the shit out of regular guys.
So who do you think he would fight? A nobody or maybe a mid-tier fighter? Like, who is he going to fight? I'm so curious.
I don't think that the regular motherfuckers is going to be in no hurry to fight Mike. Like, based on what I seen, like, bro, I wouldn't sit next to him on the bus, much less fight him. I'm not like, this motherfucker's well. Like, nah, I'm good.
All right, let me throw some names. How about Kaunaki?
Kanaki ain't going to fight him, bro.
But who do you think would win in like a fight?
Shout out to Robert Navarro.
Konaki and old Tyson.
Yeah.
You want me to be
Just a
honest?
brainstorm.
You want me to be completely honest? Because Tyson mastered the art of the knockout, I honestly believe that there's a certain number of fighters that he could still get out of there. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'd pay to watch that.
these guys aren't used to jabbing a target that moves that much. They really not like that. You're not just jabbing. Yo, Mo, hold on for a second. My son over here being.
Kanaki versus Tyson.
Man, listen, man, them guys is not used to jabbing a target that could bob and weave like that. Like literally, look across the whole heavyweight division, and you tell me who's bobbing and weaving like Mike Tyson.
No one. I think his timing. I think his timing's unmatched right now. I watch those old school fights. I'm like, damn, he knows how to get it exactly when they're open.
And because he's so much shorter than they are, they're gonna a lot of them, because they're not the same kind of jabbers that Lennox and Vladimir were. A lot of them are gonna end up giving their height up to him, and they're gonna put their face in a position to catch a hook or an uppercut. He forces you to give up your height. It's a lot of little genius shit that Mike does, man. I love watching that guy fight. A lot of little genius shit that he do that, bro, when a motherfucker get that close to you, you're not going to have no choice but to give up some height to him. And once you do, right hook, right uppercut, or two left hooks to the body and a right uppercut. This motherfucker's the meanest, man. I love Mike Tyson, man.
Imagine Mike Tyson winning a world title now.
Bro, I cry, and I'm not gassing it. I cry. I'm not like, yo, I got a personal stake in any of my heroes when I was young. If he won a title, I would dead ass cry and film it. So motherfuckers could see it. I would cry.
You know, Ring Magazine had this cover of Mike Tyson versus Tyson Fury. And if there were any other people in any other matchup, I would say that matchup is unfair because one guy is a whole foot taller than the other guy, 40 pounds heavier. But since it's Mike Tyson, prime Mike Tyson, I'm like, oh hell no, dude.
Listen, give me the Tyson that fought Donovan Ruddock. It don't even gotta be Kid Dynamite. Give me the Tyson that beats Frank Bruno the second time. That Mike Tyson will run through most of this division, if not all of it. I swear to God. Mike Tyson was a motherfucking Achilles of this shit.
Yeah, especially in video games. Fight Night Champion, like on the hardest setting, he was hard to fight.
Or imagine like a Usyk versus Holyfield at cruiserweight.
I would still pick. You know what? No, I'm not going. You know what? I wouldn't. I don't think about that fight. You know why I don't think about that fight? Because it's not fair to Usyk. Holyfield had his whole career before he moved up, right? So we got to let Usyk tell his story before we go putting him in there with somebody like that. He did his thing at cruiserweight. He did his thing. Let's see if he could do his thing at heavyweight. I ain't even going to knock him. I don't know what would happen. Let him do his thing because I ain't going to shit on him. It's real easy to shit on him just because he's from the new generation. I ain't going to do that. Let him do his thing and then we can have that conversation because I'm comparing him to somebody that is a legend. That's off top. That's not fair. Holyfield is a legend. Usyk is still doing his thing. It's not fair.
Maybe Usyk, Hey.
That's more fair because Hay just recently retired, 3 years ago. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still like you can have that conversation. And I feel like that's more fair. You know what I'm saying? But not nobody like Holyfield. Like, come on, dog. That shit ain't even right. That's not even right. That's like if I compared Keith Thurman to Felix Trinidad. Why the fuck would I do that? Why the fuck would I? Like, if you easy answer. Keith Thurman versus Felix Trinidad, bro. Keith Thurman versus fucking Oscar De La Hoya, bro. Do we have to carry on like anything else? Like, nah. It ain't fair, man.
And not just that, it's also the attitude of 90s fighters, man. I look at the roster, everybody was either stone cold or a killer. Like, the attitude of fighters today doesn't match. Like, everybody's kind of soft, kind of sensitive, you know.
Look, I ain't going, but I see what you mean, bro. I do see what that killer, like, yo, don't forget, I'm here to fuck you up. Like, talk is talk, money is money, but I'm here to fuck you up. So don't forget that. Like, Ricardo Mayorga was an ant. Like, he'll talk his shit, but he's a fighting motherfucker. He's a street fighting motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
You remember Barrera and Eric Morales? See, they used to fight outside the ring.
That motherfucker, yeah, the motherfuckers was scrapping at the press conference. They was going at it. Like, he's a motherfucker. I remember the interview. He's like, he's just a motherfucker. That's what it is. He's just a motherfucker. I was like, yo, it's a fighting motherfucker, man. You just don't like that, man. I like that shit. You don't see that shit now because a lot of shit is real professional now. It's been a long time since I saw two guys that really don't like each other fight each other. The last time I seen anything that looked like that, believe it or not, anything semblant of that was when Sinisa Estrada fought Marlena Esparza. Them two girls do not like each other. That's why I was sice off that fight because I'm like, yo, I know they don't like each other, so they gonna go at it.
H. Chisora.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago though, bro. That was over 10 years ago. Shit,
Really?
That was more years ago than that. Yeah, that was a long time ago, bro.
I feel old.
It's all right. We all old out here. It's been a while since I seen two motherfuckers that really don't like each other in postmodern boxing throw hands. Like, it's been a while. Like, think about it. Just try to think of a postmodern fight where the two motherfuckers didn't like each other.
Yeah,
Matter of
even
fact,
the big.
Terrence Crawford. There you go. Because them two motherfuckers ain't like each other. But that's still low key timid. Like, but they ain't like each other though. They didn't.
I feel like it could be a change of mentality nowadays, where it's like, I don't like this guy, so I don't want to give him a payday by fighting him.
Well, that's
Something
what's
like
going on now. You see Con and Brooke.
Yeah.
And you heard what Spence said about Thurman. Spence said, yo, he ain't give me the time of day before, so I ain't trying to give him the time of day now. That's how it's rocking right like now. Like, bro, I don't even want to punch you in your face because you're gonna get money off of that. I don't even want to give you that. That's fucked up. That's fucked up, B. Like, damn, dog, you don't even want to punch him in his face? Nah, because he's gonna get money off of that. Shit. Somebody said Canelo Triple G. That's fair. They didn't like. Well, I feel that Triple G resented Canelo, but Canelo really didn't like Triple G. But he didn't like Triple G not because he Triple G, but because of all the shit that he catching because of this dude. Like, so it's not the same as like, yo, I really don't fucking like you and you really don't fucking like me. And when we fight, we gonna fucking fight. It ain't like that.
And that fight
I
should
think
have
there's a
happened long
difference.
before it did.
Yeah, I agree with that. It should have happened a year sooner. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Life ain't perfect, and neither is boxing.
Yeah, but there's a difference between like disliking each other. Like I look at all the modern rivalries, like Spence, Crawford, Fury, Wilder. These guys don't want to kill each other. Like secretly,
Nah. Radiology said White versus AJ, and he's right. That was the last time I saw a fight between two motherfuckers that like legitimately don't. And that was a good fight, by the way. That was a good fight. That is the genuine last time I seen a fight of that nature. That this motherfucker really don't like this motherfucker, and he don't like him neither. That's fair. AJ don't like Dillian White for
There's
some
a
reason.
Chisora White.
I ain't gonna. Yeah, because it ain't. They just two tough motherfuckers. That's what that was. They just two tough ass motherfuckers that not going back down. Like, that's not this. Like, I never got the sense that Dillian White hates Derek Chisora because he was laughing at the dumb shit he said. He was trying to say he was gonna go through him like a colonic, but the motherfucker, the motherfucker Dillian White started laughing like, what? Like. Nah, White versus Joshua. That was a fight where two motherfuckers really don't like each other.
right.
Charlo Harrison rematch.
Fair. Good fight too. Real good fight. Underrated fight. Felt bad because Harrison. I wouldn't have been mad if Harrison would have won that fight. I picked Charlo by knockout. I wouldn't have been mad if Tony won though because I like Tony. I feel like Tony's more marketable than Jamal. If that might sound crazy, but Tony talks good shit. He a good shit talker.
And I don't know how you're gonna work at all that crying shit.
Well, yeah, like he was crying after the fight. It's like, bro, you 30 years old. Like I would have to fucking hit my funny bone, and I still won't shed a tear. You over here crying like, see, that's gonna play video games. Like,
Yeah, I don't know how you're
chill.
gonna play
Like,
that shit.
so what you saying that if we was playing live right now when you lost, you was stuck crying? What? That's the cocaine talking, man. Like, you better stop that. You mad emotional. That's all that coke you sniffing.
Yeah, Ring.
Motherfuckers.
Hey, can I switch the topic or are we good?
No, let's switch the topic.
I was talking to BDA on his podcast, on his talk show. Dude, there's no fighter that I hate more now than Mikey Garcia. Like, this guy's just in it for the money, and he robbed us of Loma versus Mikey. Like,
Man, wasted
man,
his career.
yeah, I feel sorry for
No,
Loma
I ain't
now
gonna
because
say
all he has to fight
I
is
ain't gonna
kids.
say he wasted it. It's unfair to say that he wasted his career. The reality of it is, look, right? He didn't give us a fight that we wanted. I'm mad like you mad. Nah, he lost one fight to a dude that was way bigger than him. He a 4 division champion. He beat like 4 or 5 world champions. You gotta give him respect. Like, I respect Mikey, but I cannot look at a career like that. Everybody not gonna have a career like that. Like, think about it. He went up 4 weight classes, right? He was a champion in 4 weight classes. I appreciate that, George. He was a champion in 4 weight classes. A lot of motherfuckers can't even be a champion in 2 weight classes to keep it a bean. Motherfucker will try. Only what, like, it's a lot of motherfuckers out here winning vacant titles. They can't beat the same number of world champions, active world champions, that Mikey beat. You got to give him some props for that. Like, you do. You got to give him props for that.
I
Look
mean,
at what happened to Jorge when he went to 140.
Oh.
Motherfucking Pablo fucked him up, man. He fucked him up real fast, too. He fucked him up, dog. Jose Pedraza tried to become a 3 division champion. He got fucked up there at 140. You got to give Mikey credit, man. Like, give him credit. He's a really good fighter, but you could tell what he's doing, and that's what people don't like about him. That you could tell, like, I see what you're doing, man. I see what you're doing. I wish he would just go to 40. Go ahead, Jose.
Would you pay pay-per-view to see Mikey versus Pacquiao?
Yes. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. I would pay. This is what the boxing promoters, I really hope they listening. I do. I would pay pay-per-view to see Mikey Garcia versus Regis Prograis. I would pay pay-per-view to see Mikey Garcia versus Josh Taylor. The problem is they making the wrong fights. They legit be making the wrong fights. And it's certain shit, like, it's certain shit. One, the price point has to change. I think that the price point definitely has to change depending on the fight. But two, motherfuckers ain't dumb. Motherfuckers know a good fight. Like, if you, let's say you put Mikey Garcia versus Regis Prograis on regular TV, right? You gonna get OD ratings. What does that mean? That the audience is there for that fight. So if you told that audience, yo, you want to see this fight, it's 50 cash, motherfuckers will pay that. I'll pay that. If Regis Prograis beats Maurice Hooker, for example, and then they was like, yo, we gonna put Prograis versus Garcia on pay-per-view, yo, I'll pay that to see that fight. I would pay that.
Another problem about the price point is that these cards, man, like, the main card sometimes is good, but the undercards are usually shit nowadays. You know, like, I remember watching Wilder Fury 2. Undercard was such dog shit. Like, everybody slugged Charles Martin from Gerald Washington. Like, if I'm paying 80 big ones, I need 3 hours of entertainment, man.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. But what I'm gonna say is that's PBC. I'm motherfucker gonna think I love Eddie Hearn, and it ain't that. A matchroom undercard usually has entertaining fights. Usually it does. Matchroom undercard, motherfucker gonna get knocked out. Motherfucker gonna get exposed. Like when Josh Kelly fought motherfucking that Russian dude, Roundov or whatever the fuck his name is. He low key, he was getting exposed. Like, bro, this dude is not all that flashy shit you doing. He's still walking you down, bro. You better figure it out. Fuck around, you gonna lose this fight.
Yeah, I remember the one PBC card where it was Easter versus Bartholomew.
Oh, that was so terrible.
Bored out my mind.
That was so terrible. That was so terrible. Like I'll say, look, I like Matchroom undercards. Top Rank every so often has a good undercard too. Really, when we think of weak undercards, we talking about PBC fights. Like legit. Like I ain't even saying that to shit on them. The weakest undercards I seen is PBC fights. Like, bro, you wanted my $80 for this old bullshit? Fuck out of here, man.
Tank game.
No,
Boy.
actually, you're right though. You're right about the whole Eddie Hearn thing because his undercards we've had Dillian White, we've had Joseph Parker under there, we had Chocolatito.
Yeah.
So I respect him. You know, I think Eddie Hearn is like strategically placing himself to be the Dana White of boxing. You know, with the whole thing he's doing with the zone and stuff, I see it. You know.
Yeah, but look, I'm gonna say, look, what he do for himself and his career is one thing, and what he delivers for me as a boxing fan is another. And what I'm saying is he's delivering for me as a boxing fan because he gave me a good ass fight in Ramirez versus Hooker. That was a good ass fight, dog. Like, I'm sorry, but that if motherfucker missed, oh well, you fucking missed it. That was a good ass fight. He gave me that fight. And when he put on a card, it's not just the main event. The card is actually good. If I go watch a PBC $80 fucking fight, bro, I didn't even remember the undercard for Broner versus Pacquiao. Like I don't remember who was on the undercard.
Broner versus
No.
Pacquiao itself was trash.
Really, yeah. That shit was a showcase fight for many. That shouldn't even been a pay-per-view. I really thought that shit was gonna be some shit because it's Broner. You finally got your chance at the big stage. And what you do, you go out there, don't throw no punches, get hit in the face, and shake your head. It's corny, like
What was that guy that Pacquiao fought? Just had a high guard the whole time.
I'm trying to remember. Oh shit, there go Mark. Mark, the only way you get to go live now is if you sing a song. Put the link in the description.
Supposedly, Mark destroyed, I think, Red Glove Militant and karaoke off. It was a challenge unit.
Yo, dog. Mark sings like a fucking angel, dog. That motherfucker sound like Colin Hay. Come from a land down under. It's that shit.
Hey, I was with you with those 80s songs, man. Like that was a good fucking era.
Joshua Clottey is what I was thinking.
Joshua Clottey, all right, Clottey. Clottey got a weird fucking shaped head, man. His head is shaped like a fist. His head looked like a knuckle.
Yo, what up?
What's up, Unrivaled?
Yo, Mark, where you learn to sing like that, yo?
I was just born with a lot of talents.
You got a fucking magnificent voice, Mark.
I appreciate that. One day I hope to be able to sing as good as you in the shower.
Well, I don't sing in the shower, but I sing in the kitchen. It's good acoustics in the kitchen.
I know you don't sing in the shower because I heard you perform in that bitch.
Yeah, I was belting out notes. But yeah, man, the topic, the reason I went live in the first place is because of the Teofimo Lopez and Vasyl Lomachenko shit. And how I think it's fucking retarded. Shit, Mark disappeared. I was just explaining myself. Shit.
No, I didn't. I'm still here.
Oh shit, Mark. I'm drunk a little.
Me too. It's 2 a.m. I've been drinking for 4.5 hours.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
a little high.
Fuck yeah. My shit was, I think it's stupid for anybody to look at the situation between Lopez and Lomachenko and try to accuse one of ducking when, look, that fight was going to be a pay-per-view fight. You have no gate. People don't have money for a pay-per-view, so ain't nobody ducking shit, bruh. They can't fight, period. They might end up taking a tune-up in their next fight, but it's because of this COVID. It's not because, oh, he's scared of him and he don't want to, like, the shit is corny to, like, bruh, they was going to fight. Go ahead, Mark.
My only thing would be if they're offered the same amount of horses that they're being offered and one says yes and the other says no. That's the only way I can call it a duck. Other than that, yeah, you're pretty spot on. But if they're offered like the same horses that we were hearing that they were pretty much agreeing to, then I might be a little bit like, you know. Like,
Well, Lopez is saying that Lomachenko requested a tune-up, but at the same time, Lopez said that he ain't down to fight with no audience, and I'm not knocking him. I'm
Yep.
literally understand. Like you right, like ain't no audience. What you gonna fight for? But what I'm saying is, if you ain't down to fight with no audience, then you not down to fight no time in the near future. And I'm like, how do people not see that? Ain't gonna be no audience in the near future. That's what that
okay.
means. Like that fight was gonna be at Madison Square Garden. It was gonna be billed as a pay-per-view. And if you're telling the boxing community, yo, I'm not down to fight without no audience, what you telling me is you ain't down to fight in the next 3-4 months. That's what that means.
Pretty much. I mean, look, Dillian White and Povetkin are gonna be fighting behind closed doors.
That's what I heard.
What?
That's what I heard.
Yeah, Eddie Hearn saying that they were going for July, closed doors. That's a big fight in the UK, man.
No, that's a big fight, and it's a good fight. It's a good Dillian White. If he wins that fight, he gonna have that many more fans because he came through for him. Like, look, I'm gonna fuck up Povetkin for y'all. I know y'all can't be here. Buy this fight on Sky Sports Box Office. I'm gonna fuck him up. Dillian White, body snatcher. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
I'll be buoyed up. I'll just lay down in front of the big screen, mate, and just fucking chill.
That's still a tasty ass fight. It don't gotta be people there. That's a tasty ass fight. Somebody gonna get knocked the fuck out.
Are there any other fights happening behind closed doors?
Not that we know of yet, but Eddie Hearn saying that one's definitely going to be a go. So he's going to be making an announcement soon on that shit. So I'm excited for them. Genuinely, I'm in July. So only 2 months to go, Julius.
I ain't mad. Like we ain't run out of shit to talk about, Mark. I ain't mad. Tyrese Bew, I appreciate that. It's still plenty of shit going on. The shit I'm saying is Lopez told everybody, and it's like I don't understand why certain little shit has to be explained. But if the guy told you that he's not gonna fight without a crowd there, don't you have a brain? That means he's not gonna fight no time in the next 2 to 3 months. That's what that means. So how you gonna try to make it about Lomachenko when this man just said I'm not fighting without no crowd? It's a common sense argument.
Well, look, all you need to do is take a look at any of the photos he's posted recently. He ain't ready to fight 135 pounds anytime soon.
That's true.
He fat.
He fat. No, I seen him. He fat.
He going kind of the way of Tank and Arrow right now, isn't he?
And the funny shit is, like I said, it is not my intention to accuse Teofimo Lopez of ducking because it's not ducking. I understand what he's saying. Like, yo, dog, this shit was gonna be a pay-per-view. This shit was gonna be at Madison Square Garden in a big room. It was gonna be. I'm not gonna go out there now and not fight in front of not nobody. I want to get paid too. So I understand that. But if we understand each other and we understand that, all right then. This motherfucker just said I'm not fighting without no crowd. Well, it ain't gonna be no crowds for the next 3 to 4 months. So basically, you telling me that you ain't down to fight. He said even if they offered me to fight right now, I wouldn't take it. So stop with the Vasil Lomachenko videos, people, please. Cut that dumb shit out. Because your boy... Go ahead, Mark.
No, I'm just saying no. No Vasil Lomachenko videos? Okay.
There's too many Vasil Lomachenko. I've seen Vasil Lomachenko videos. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, bro, your man just said he ain't down to fight in so many words. If he not down to fight without no audience, you tell me what fucking venue on the planet could they fight at that you mad at Loma?
What I'm really worried about is how long Lopez can still make a 135.
That's his fucking problem. I don't blame that on nobody. No, but look. A lot of people treat shit like it's the other motherfucker fault. It ain't the other motherfucker fault that you struggling. That's your job. That was always your job. And if you can't make it, then you can't motherfucking make it. But that was always your job. That's not his job. His career is not around you. So it's on you to be able to do that shit.
Me personally, right? I'm coming from this point of view. I've never thought the fight was going to take place.
Really?
Yeah, I never did. Like I told people, like yeah, I'll believe it when the contract is signed. You know, I will. Like I always thought Loma would take the fight. I'm not saying I thought he'd duck him. I just never thought Teofimo would. I thought something would come up and then boom, it's come time and then there's like a hold up on the fight. Then all of a sudden it's like, well, we need more money than we need it in MSG. I'm like, they're playing A side. You know what I mean? They're playing A side tactics. I just didn't think they really wanted the fight.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm gonna say that I'm not gonna doubt. I'm not gonna say nothing about negative that's about Lopez. But all I'm gonna say is, yo, look, dog, at the end of the day, I've been hearing about him struggling to make the weight since 2019. You see what I'm saying? That's how long I've been hearing about that shit. So if you outgrow the weight class, you outgrow the weight class. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, whether or not you can make weight, that was never Lomachenko's responsibility. And he and not for nothing. And not for nothing. Yeah, all right, let me.
No, that's Gonzalo's mug. Whenever he takes it off, it echoes.
All right. Not for nothing. It was supposed to be Lomachenko versus Comey. Comey got injured. It is what it is. Then Comey ended up fighting Lopez. It is what it is. Lomachenko, I'm not trying to make it like, oh, it's A side and B side. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying, like, yo, sometimes fights don't happen, bro. Believe it or not. And sometimes it ain't because one guy's scared of another guy. Motherfuckers out here perpetrating the narrative that this man is scared of this young boy on the premise of what? Don't tell me it's because of Comey, because y'all was saying that before he knocked out Comey. So you can't disguise your bullshit to me. You was saying that before Comey. So you...
Ring, am I echoing? Can you hear me?
Hello? Yeah, I can hear you. Hello, go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just gonna add. Sorry, is it echoing bad?
No, you good. You good.
Yeah, when I heard the same thing about Teofimo Lopez. You know that he's struggling to make weight. So ever since like 2019 too, and I think that in the end would really hurt him bad. Just compare Mikey to Spence, how, you know, Spence is a big guy and he struggled to knock out Mikey late. He couldn't do it. Now, when you think about Lomachenko, you know, he's transitioned so well into the professionals because he gets more than 3 rounds as like he used to in the amateurs. As a professional, he overloads the fighters' computers and he drowns them late, like when he got those 4 stoppages in a row. And I think he could do the same to Teofimo. He would drown them late because him struggling to make weight will affect his conditioning in the later rounds if he doesn't knock him out early.
That's fair. That's fair. And not for nothing, Lomachenko being a southpaw and Teofimo with that fucking shoulder roll, I was wondering, like, yo, how you going to stop Loma from punching you on the top of the head? I'm just curious. Because I know Masayoshi was punching you on the top of the head, dog. And I know that Masayoshi is a tall motherfucker.
Masayoshi, man.
Yeah, you remember Masayoshi Nakatani? Tall motherfucker for 135.
He's a good fighter as well. He's got a great job.
He's good, but it was like, I know, okay, Masayoshi has an advantage to where he doesn't have to be right up on you to get past that shoulder roll and punch you on the top of the head. But I just feel like Lomachenko got enough tools and tricks that shoulder roll ain't gonna mean shit, bruh. You gonna end up getting punched right on the fucking temple. He gonna psych you out and make you protect your body, then go upstairs and punch you in the temple. That's what I think is going to happen.
You know what would be interesting to see? Lomachenko fighting orthodox, since he's naturally right-handed.
That would be interesting. He'd have reversed Cotto, because Cotto was a left-handed fighter that fought orthodox. Lomachenko's a right-handed fighter that fights southpaw.
That'd be a bad move. Fighting southpaw against Teofimo gives him more of an advantage because he's fighting against the Philly shell.
Yeah, that motherfucking shell, man. Floyd still.
He seemed extremely.
Go ahead, Gonzalo.
Sorry, he seemed extremely frustrated when he fought Masayoshi Nakatani due to like maybe personal problems, whatnot. But that's the thing that Lomachenko capitalizes on in his fights. If the guy gets frustrated, he's not going to do very well against Lomachenko. He might have a real strong chance of getting an early KO, but I don't know. It just tips the scales for me in Lomachenko's favor if the fight goes on.
Yeah, but I also got to credit Masayoshi because it's easy for me to make it all about Teofimo. But at the end of the day, Masayoshi took some good motherfucking shots and fought back. He took some good shots and fought back. Like, yo, Masayoshi is one of them guys that like, yo, you gotta get that dude. It's like the Triple G and Sergey Deontay shit. Everybody want to say, oh, Triple G getting old, Triple G getting old. Yeah, but Sergey's a good fighter though. Like, it ain't just that he getting old. It's that you getting old, you are. But Sergey's a good fighter, man.
And he was extremely hungry for that second title opportunity that he fell short against Daniel Jacobs, which was a close, competitive fight. Too bad that he fell and sprawled on the canvas when he touched the glove. He got that knockdown against him. But he was extremely hungry for that fight against Triple G. So he's been wanting to be world champion for a long time. He just
I had
fell a little short.
Go ahead, Andy.
I was just thinking I had Sergey winning that fight on my card.
I'm gonna say that Sergey's time might come if Jamal is serious about moving up. Sergey is in line for a title shot. If Jamal,
if I'm not mistaken, it would be Sergey versus Eubank, wouldn't it?
Eubank said
it might, but I don't know if that fight will come off because Eubank's with the PBC and Sergey's with Lou DiBella.
Yeah, but I don't think the PBC really give a fuck about Eubanks.
I don't think so either. To be honest, like what they've been doing for Eubank, they put him in there with Korobov. That shit ain't a favor. Lucky for Eubank that Korobov got injured. He fuck around. If that fight would have went on, Korobov probably was gonna fuck him up.
That's right. And that's another fighter that was probably hungry after getting robbed possibly 2 times in a row because he got that draw and a lot of people thought he lost against Charlo.
Yeah.
He won, actually. Correction. He won.
Yeah. He couldn't miss with that straight left hand, man. Like, I lost count. He couldn't miss with that straight left hand.
Looking silly out there.
He's a silly motherfucker. He fucking still died. He still frosts his tips like you old 1995 ass. The fuck? Fuck,
Yeah,
you supposed to be Simon Phoenix?
David Benavidez.
He's trying to be the Simon Phoenix of Texas. Like, think don't nobody know. I see you, dog. I know what you're doing.
I was on BDA the other day, right? And he was showing me this clip of Jamal with Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn was talking to him. Did you see this, Ring?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you hear the noise he was making when he punched the bag? Yeah. Bro. That shit.
Yo, but this the corny shit. This the corny shit. You joined that live to talk to Eddie Hearn, so you could announce after that you're going to 68. I see the corny shit. Like, Brody, why you even want to talk to Eddie Hearn if you going to 68? We know what you doing. You going for Benavidez. You going fake go for Caleb Plant. You going to fuck around fight Avni Yildirim. Like, I already see what you doing, bro.
I don't believe that, to be honest.
You don't believe it? You think he going to stay where you at?
I think he's going to go to 168, but I don't think he's going to be like fuck around and fight Avni Yildirim. I don't think he's going to fight Avni. I think he's going to fight 160 pounders at 168, just like when he was at 150. When he moved to 160, he was fighting 154 pounders.
And he's gonna do that shit for a year. He's probably gonna do that shit for a year. Like, he gonna bring up some 160s, the 168, and then they're gonna put him in there with Avni Yildirim, and Avni gonna fuck around and look good.
Bro, he may fight Chavez Jr.
Nah, I don't see that. He'll be lucky.
Speaking about Charlo,
he'll be lucky if he gets that fight because Julio, for whatever reason, still sells tickets. Strangest fucking shit, dog.
Didn't he get a ban or something?
Wouldn't that be a big fight in Texas?
It's like a pet issue.
Huge. Even now, even behind the Danny Jacobs shit, that'll be a huge fight. That'll still be a huge fight.
Where did the Danny Jacobs and Chavez fight take place? Was that in Arizona?
No, that
was in Arizona. Arizona because the opponent, somebody fell out. Why was it? There was a reason why it was in Arizona. I can't recall, but
it was in Arizona.
No, yeah, it was
in Arizona.
They had to switch the venue at the last minute. I forgot.
Oh, that's right, because of the testing.
Yeah. Because I forgot what the fuck was going. I know Chavez evaded testing. He didn't test positive for something, but I remember it being that he evaded testing.
Yeah, and apparently they didn't identify themselves, and that's the reason he refused. So, like, I think later he got exonerated but he just got banned in Vegas, so they just had to go to.
Yeah, but you know that motherfucker got hella THC in his system and Frosted Flakes. Old cereal eating motherfucker.
Yeah, he got cocaine in his fucking system, mate.
I saw a video just before I got on right now about Jermall Charlo, where he's showing off his crib. I don't know if you guys seen it, his house. Apparently, he's doing real good for himself. So he got a bunch of cars, a nice house.
As Eddie Hearn said, he's doing really well for a guy who hasn't fought anyone.
Well, listen, y'all gotta stop believing that because a motherfucker take a picture with it, that's his shit. I bet my bottom dollar that house is rented. I bet my bottom dollar them cars is rented. I bet you. Motherfuckers was doing that shit in the rap game for years, posing with shit that's rented. That ain't his shit. Unless that motherfucker flipping keys, then I believe it.
Nothing wrong with flipping keys, but
legit, that's the only way I believe it. You can't tell me that you fought Dennis Hogan and got M's for that. You didn't get M's for Dennis Hogan. I don't believe that. If you lucky, you got one.
I fucking forgot that fight happened.
You're not gonna tell me that you got M's to fight Centennial. You look at who he fought. Highland. Do you think they gave him $1 million to fight Jorge Sebastian Highland?
That's his name, Jorge Sebastian Highland.
Yeah, the dude from Argentina that was the interim champion before Jamal.
Such a weird. Well, that's such a weird last name for an Argentinian.
Isn't it though? Isn't
that's
it?
No, bro. That's an Irish name, bro.
His name is Jorge Sebastian Highland. He looks like somebody beat the shit out of Maravilla.
He was on like one leg, right?
How is the Highland spelled?
It's HEILLAND.
Wow.
Yo, that's don't ask me, bro. It's a small fucking world, man.
In Mexico, it's the same. There's like Mexicans with what, if not the two last name, one from either side of the parents. That's could be foreign. There's a lot like that.
I'm gonna say, I don't bring up that Jorge had one leg because I understood what. Look, I didn't knock Jamal. That the guy he had to fight, he had a fucked up leg. That's not Jamal's fault. If I'm trying to become the interim so I could get the big fish, I don't care who I got to fight. I might have to fight a can of tuna fish. That's what I got to do. So I ain't even knock him for that. I still don't. Because I thought he wanted the big fights until Oscar said, yo, we made somebody over there offer and they turned it down. And I believe Oscar because Oscar, like I said in the video, that motherfucker wasn't lying about Leo and Rigo. He was telling the truth. So he fuck around telling the truth about this shit.
Out of all the PBC fighters that are not doing so well inside and outside of the ring, now that you're speaking about Jermall Charlo, because I learned how to identify the difference between Jermall and Jermall. Jermall's the older one, okay? Right, we know that. Now Jermall, I give him the most credit out of the PBC. And surprisingly, that's coming off that first loss against Harrison, which he avenged. I give him the benefit of the doubt and more credit than all the stable of PBC fighters, to include his brother. I think he's doing all right for himself.
I'll say one thing. I'll never fall for the thing when people were saying Tony Harrison was a cherry pick gone wrong. Tony Harrison was never a cherry pick. Anyone who watched Tony Harrison fight knew that he was a good fighter.
Unrivaled. Mark, I called him unrivaled. Mark, I'm going to say he's a cherry pick gone wrong because the matchmakers didn't know what they were doing. He wasn't in there to win. He wasn't in there to be a hard fight. They seen that Willie Nelson fight and that Jared Hurd fight, and they figured Jamal going to knock him out. That's what they thought. That was a bad style matchup, and it's not that Tony's a bad fighter. I'm saying in their eyes, they looked at Tony like he can't fight, not realizing, yo, you just put Jamal in there in a bad style matchup, bro.
Man, I'm just thinking to myself, they must have only watched the end of that Horde fight and not everything that led up to it, because he was piecing Horde the fuck up.
Yes, he was.
Tony Harrison can box.
Two fighters. He's a tale of two fighters. It's the conditioning that betrays him, because he's been winning the fights that he lost, so he can do very well. Same thing with the Jermall Charlo fight. He just fell apart.
Nah,
He
but
was doing all right in the rematch.
Here's the thing with Willie Nelson and Jarrett Hurd, the constant is that they put Tony in there with 2 mid-range to inside fighters. Those is pressure guys. Willie Nelson is a pressure guy. He, as tall as he is, he fight in the phone booth. The same is true of Jarrett Hurd. You got mad height, but you don't use none of that shit. That's the weakness for a guy like Tony. Tony want to fight long distance. These 2 big motherfuckers don't want to let you. So I didn't knock him for either of those losses. But with Jamel, I should say, is different. Like, nah, Brody, y'all put this dude in a bad style matchup. Tony, and I didn't think about it. I should have thought about it. That's why I was mad when he motherfucking won, because I'm like, damn, yeah, Tony's a pure
I put money on Tony in the first fight.
Tony won you some money?
Tony won me some money in the rematch. He lost me some money. J-Rock won me money against Horde as well.
I got that one wrong. I picked Hurd, but I said J-Rock is gonna make it real difficult for this guy.
Do you know who called both of those fights, like the Harrison and the J-Rock fight? Like straight up, like fair play to him. Low place.
Really?
Yeah, he called those. Low place station. He was, and he said how J-Rock could actually be hurt. Like he broke it down, like he'd be able to get in on his body, he'd be ripping him with the uppercut to the body, and he'd get out of the pocket.
What happened to him, yo?
There's a lot of theories. I'm not going to speculate.
Did he get the Rona?
No. He's been gone long before that.
Oh shit! He probably found Adonis Stevenson.
John Boxing pound for pound the best is asking for a link.
All right. Let me put this shit in here. I think he probably caught up with Adonis Stevenson. Started a fan club in Quebec.
So they're just rolling around up in Quebec.
Yeah, because remember, Adonis is going through a divorce. Who's going to help him through that but Low Place? He got divorced.
The Stevenson course right now taking full effect.
The
Stevenson
he
course.
needs Low Place to talk about him, but he needs Low Place to talk to him about the Fonfara fight.
I remember I called that guy low wage.
Yo, he loves Stevenson, bro. I thought I was bugging. Well, like, yo, Stevenson as a fan like this? Why?
Do you think Tony Harrison will be a good first defense for Jason Rosario?
Tony Harrison will beat him.
I think it's a hell of a competitive fight.
It's competitive, but let's put it this way, because I don't want to be that guy. Tony has the skill set to beat this dude, dog. Just keep him on the outside. Keep him on the outside. Stay behind your jab. Don't do no cute shit. Be happy to win a points decision. But Tony has the skill set to beat that guy. Jason,
I got a question for you guys.
Go ahead.
I got a question for you guys. What in the 154-pound division? How would you label it? Now, there's 2 scenarios. One, that it's a weak division, or that it's a good division and it's competitive, and that's why how it's been going down, that nobody can be consistent and win 2 fights in a row.
I think it's a competitive division.
Well, all right. If that's if I have to choose between those two, because I don't knock the fighters, it's a competitive division because nobody is a cut above anybody else at any given time. It's anybody's night. That's not a bad thing, though. That's not.
Arizlande Lara could fuck around and go undisputed in that division.
I was gonna say that if they put motherfucking Lara in there with Rosario, Lara will fuck around, win 2 belts. He'll fuck around.
What's going on, gentlemen?
How's it going?
Hey, I've been meaning to get on your live stream for about a couple of days already. I think you did a live stream talking about Wilder and what was it called? Him not being able to bounce back.
I didn't do a live stream on. No, I did. Matter of fact, I did.
Yeah. But I've been meaning. I wanted to kind of debate you on that one. But
you got to set the
No, not like I just wanted to discuss about that because I had something to kind of to debunk that. Since we got
what is there to debunk? I'm not like what is there to debunk except opinions? Like until he bounced back, it's all subject to speculation.
True. But like I ain't gonna be on that long because I'm about to get right here and do a little workout here. But I remember this narrative's still going on right now about being undefeated don't mean anything, right? We all say that, right?
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. What?
Being undefeated don't mean anything.
Being undefeated
depends.
don't mean for who? Like, what's the context? Like,
Well,
I
no,
don't know
because
what that means.
like I said, that live stream you had, you're basically talking about Deontay Wilder when he lost to Fury, and I think somebody on the panel said that he would never win a world title again, or he would never. Basically, he should retire because he's finished. Right.
Okay.
All right. Who said that? Because I'm like,
I think it might have been L Dog.
It might.
Well, yes. I mean, like I said, this coin. I'm working out and shit right now, so. But I can't.
Go ahead. Make your point. Make your point.
Well, my point is that out of all fighters, how do you ride off the biggest puncher in boxing history? How do you say that? How do you say that?
All right, John. All right. First off, we're not gonna do the childish shit. All right.
No, I'm not doing the childish shit. I'm actually here,
bro. I'm all right. First off, if you make a statement that he's the biggest puncher in boxing history, what on earth is that based off of?
George Foreman stated it too.
That's George Foreman. Wilder holds no records in terms of knockouts of being the biggest puncher. He holds no records at all. Does he have the record for the most first round knockouts?
He don't. But his power.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna ask you a series of questions. Please don't waste my time. Does he hold the record for the most first round knockouts? No.
No, he don't.
Does he hold the record for the most knockouts?
No, he don't.
Does he hold the record for the most knockouts over world champions, the top contenders?
No, he don't.
How many top contenders has he knocked out?
I want to say about 15 or 16 of them.
That's wrong. No, and I'm not gonna play with you. I'm not gonna disrespect you, but at the same time, I'm not gonna let you waste my time. No, he has only knocked out one top contender in 40-something fights. Just one. Literally just one. All right? That's not a lie. You don't want to believe me, you don't have to. The information is out there. This ain't gonna be one of those lives where I gotta go do your homework for you because you came in here and you didn't know. I know, and I've already done this research, which is where I derive my opinions, which is not an opinion, actually, because he has only knocked out, it is a matter of fact, that out of the divisional top 10 ranked standings, he's only ever knocked out one guy 2 times. That's the only top contender he's ever knocked out. He never knocked out a world champion, and he's only knocked out one top contender in 40-something fights. So when you tell me that he's the biggest puncher in boxing history, I think that that's a loaded statement. That's a baseless anecdote that is not based on anything real. It's not.
Well, yeah. In this day and age of, go ahead, Rival.
Well, I just like when people say in history. So, John, you made the claim that he's the biggest puncher in boxing history.
Well,
so I'll just ask you a question for you to make that statement. Can you give me a brief rundown of Harry Will's knockouts, who he fought against and who he knocked out, please? For you to make that statement. No, Harry Wills.
No, I can't get it off the top of my head.
Do you know anybody that he beat?
No.
Then why are you making a statement so ludicrous if you don't know all of the top contenders for that bracket?
Well, exactly. Obviously, the statement wasn't made just by me. I'm going off of what also.
So you're talking to us, right? Not everyone else.
But George Foreman says that, right? And right now as we speak, Deontay Wilder is respected for his power. I mean, I'm not dismissing what any of you guys are saying, but what I'm saying is, to completely ride a guy off that we know can punch, right? I mean, he did put Tyson Fury down in the 12th round. So that, I mean,
did he knock him out?
You can argue and say it was a knockout.
No, I can't argue. You know why I can't argue?
Why?
When Mike Tyson took out Trevor Berbick before the half, Trevor Berbick was unfit to fight after the knockout. When he took out Bruce Seldon, he was unfit to fight after the knockout. If it's a knockout, there's not going to be no arguing. You can't fight no more, bro. Your equilibrium is gone. There's not going to be no argument. When Tyson Fury was put down late into the fight, he got up, and not only did he get up, he came forward, had his equilibrium, and fought back. So no, he's not knocked out if he's fighting back. It's not a knockout. I don't
the misconception that.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
The misconception that people have, and it's been mentioned, people know about this, but they just don't want to get it through their minds. A lot of people, that seconds are not in account. 1 second doesn't equate like the 1 or the 2. You know, it's up to the discretion of the rhythm of the referee that's counting the count that he's from 1 to 2. It doesn't necessarily mean it's 1 second. Okay. And Tyson, he got up at 9 seconds if you want to go by that criteria. Another thing, he has a hard punch, but he's not the hardest puncher, plural. With two hands, that are fighters that actually punch well with two hands. Maybe Joshua nowadays is Mike Tyson.
I'm not even going to get into the argument. I have a different question. It's a simple question. John, if Wilder's the number one, who are the 9 guys behind him? Who are the top 10 hardest punchers in heavyweight history?
The top 10?
The top 10 heaviest punchers in heavyweight history.
Well, I'm gonna give one number one, George Foreman, Tyson.
So your number one is George Foreman, and a second ago you said Wilder's the hardest hitter. Okay, there we go.
I think it might be Ernie Shavers actually, and then Archie Moore.
The funny shit is, I wouldn't even. You know what the funny shit is? I wouldn't. Shavers is a very hard puncher. I don't dismiss that, but it's based on anecdotal evidence. If we go by knockouts and things like that, who had the most professional knockouts, which is what I'm going to ask John Boxing. If Wilder is the biggest puncher in history, does he hold the most knockouts in the history of boxing?
No, he doesn't. But see, here's the thing.
Do you know who does?
Do you know who does?
Hold on. Do you know who does actually? That's another question.
No, I don't know who holds the
Archie Moore.
Everyone.
It's Archie Moore.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to ask you, based on the statement that you made, because you should have phrased that this is a debate after all, so we have to debate what's being said.
Okay, true. And I'm not here trying to start shit either. I'm
not accusing you of that. Okay. I'm just saying. What I'm going to advise you is to rephrase your question, because I know what you're getting at. How do you count out a guy who could finish a fight at any given moment? That's more or less what you're asking, right?
There you go.
All right, now
that's all I want to ask you guys. That's all I want to ask, because everyone has a puncher's chance, and we all know Wilder can punch.
All right, now this is the reason. Now I'm not trying to insult your intelligence, right? I'm literally not. I'm gonna answer your question as honestly as I can. Wilder has fought against Tyson Fury 12 rounds in the first fight. How many rounds in the second fight?
7.
We'll give him 7.
He's fought against him for 17 rounds, and he couldn't keep him down. He
fought against him for 19 rounds.
19 rounds, pardon me, 19 rounds. I'm sorry, I'm fucking drunk, all right? I've been drinking. And he couldn't keep him down. Big punchers will keep a guy down. I mean, like, I'm not saying that Wilder's a small puncher. I'm just saying that if people are looking at that fight in a certain scope, it's because Tyson Fury's already been in there with him twice. He's already been in there with him twice.
Look,
right?
let me break it down a little bit more than that, right? So Wilder, what's the statement that he made? He only needs to be perfect for what, John?
A second.
Yeah. Right. He's had 19 rounds. He's had 57 minutes. He's had 3,420 seconds, and he hasn't been perfect.
Yep. That's what.
And another thing, I got a question for John. How many punchers has Wilder himself fought? Because it's very easy to knock out a guy when you get no resistance back. If you're in danger of being knocked out yourself, you're not going to be comfortable landing that right hand. And he hasn't really faced any big punchers.
You can say Luis Ortiz was a big puncher.
I could
He's
say
too slow. He's too slow to be explosive.
That's fair. That Ortiz was because I view Ortiz as a decent sized puncher. I don't think he's a big puncher. I don't view him as a big puncher, because if he was really a big puncher, he would have took out Kaufman at least. Hammer, I can forgive, because Hammer's been in there with Povetkin. I can forgive that you didn't knock him out, but you would have took out Kaufman. You would have took him out if you was really a big puncher, a sizable puncher. You'd have took him out. Also, one puncher, just one in 40-something contests. Fury wasn't known as a puncher, and that's the best guy you fought. That is the most guy that you fought, and he's not.
In Ortiz, he might be heavy-handed, but he's an old guy that is not explosive because he's too slow. When you see the punches coming, they're not really gonna knock you out if you can brace your body because you're expecting that punch. He's too slow. He's not really a power puncher.
Yeah,
he's really old.
Here's the thing about I think you guys are with the current state of the heavyweights that Wilder fought, like such as Bermane Stephens. See, a lot of people will pick at Bermane Stephens to beat Deontay Wilder, and I was going to say
Deontay Wilder was a 1-6 favorite.
against Bermain Stephens the first time.
In the first fight, he was a 1-6 opening favorite.
And Bermain Stephens was already knocked out by Demetrius King. So
actually, that fight right there was a controversial stoppage because Bermain Stephens didn't get knocked out. He actually was he was finished on his feet, and he was pretty pissed off at the referee for stopping it so early.
Well, that's cool.
That part is, I think you guys talked about Wilder's boxing ability. I know Wilder he ain't the best boxer, but all these things that you guys are saying about what Wilder didn't do against Fury, maybe we're not giving Fury that credit because Wilder did box Bermain Stephens, and Bermain Stephens is a great boxer. To me,
I apologize. My betting line is from the UK. I don't have the actual betting line in America.
Bermain Stephens a great boxer.
He's a good boxer.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna say. Deontay Wilder has a constant. Now, whether or not you could recognize that constant, I don't know what to tell you. But the only time the jab and the right hand, the 1-2, the trademark 1-2, which is the most known combination in boxing, the only time it shows up is when he's fighting a smaller fighter with slow feet. Where was the 1-2 with Gerald Washington? He was being counter-jabbed by Gerald Washington, who is not a top 10, nor has he ever been.
I think at that time, Gerald Washington.
No, he was not. No, he was not. I tell you.
Look.
No, he was not. He was not.
Julius, this is so easy. Let me show you. Right, John, you said Stavern, right? We're going to get into this. Who did he beat?
Are you talking to me or are you talking to the audience?
I'm talking to you.
Okay, what's up? Who did Bermain Stephens?
Yeah, Stavern.
He won his title against Chris Arreola. All right.
Okay. Now, who did Arreola beat?
I'm not going to sit there running down the whole list, but Chris Arreola was arguably ranked as one of the top heavyweights before.
Who did he beat to get his rankings?
I'm not going to list this. I'm not going to go back and list all that top of my head.
Name one person. Name one person.
Well, he beat Seth Mitchell in one round. All right. And Seth Mitchell was a guy that was coming up real fast. He beat Chaz Witherspoon in his primes. I remember Chaz Witherspoon.
I remember Seth Mitchell got fucked up by Jonathan Banks.
And
that's an old fight. That's an old fight. He remembering Jonathan Banks fights.
But he beat Seth.
A shot Seth Mitchell who was coming off of numerous losses.
Seth Mitchell only lost one time to Jonathan Banks, and Jonathan Banks, Seth Mitchell revenged that loss, and then Chris Arreola destroyed him in one round.
Okay.
So
who else? So who did Seth Mitchell beat?
Are we talking about Seth Mitchell or Chris Arreola? Because I'm going off.
You went Arreola, then he beat Seth Mitchell. Who's Seth Mitchell beat?
Okay. Seth Mitchell beat a lot of I want to say he beat a lot of bums. He beat a lot of guys. He was coming up in the ranks. He was the next big thing from America. That's what they were pushing him as.
Can I do this? Look.
And then he lost to Jonathan Banks, right?
There you go.
No, let's be fair. Let's be fair, right? Bermain Stephens was that era's Charles Martin. Can we say that? We can say that. He was that era's Charles Martin. That's what he was. Charles Martin is a cut above a certain fighter, believe it or not. We saw that in the Washington fight. He's a cut above a certain fighter. But at best, and I'm not trying to knock him, this is just based on what he's done so far, he's a C-class fighter who fought for a vacant title. The difference, I would say, because I already know what people are thinking, is, okay, so you're saying that Anthony Joshua fought a C-class fighter. The difference is that Anthony Joshua fought a C-class fighter much sooner than it took Wilder. Because Bermain Stephens was not the man in the heavyweight division by any stretch of the imagination. By the time Wilder fought that guy, how many title defenses did Vladimir have by then? How many? You chose, it was chosen for you, I should say, and we all know it. They chose to put you in there against Bermain Stephens. It is what it is. Who's Bermain Stephens' biggest win? Chris Arreola. Who's Chris Arreola's biggest win? Seth Mitchell.
I mean,
I'd actually say his best win based on context and where they were might actually be Eric Molina, but okay.
Well, Ray Austin. Ray Austin was a pretty good win too.
Ray Austin's trash.
He wasn't.
Who'd he beat?
Ray Austin.
That's how the heavyweight division wasn't cracking like it is now. I mean,
That's not true. That's not true.
I'm even cracking back now.
I had to grab my wine glass. Pardon me. I had to grab my wine glass. That's not true. Don't tell me the heavyweight division didn't have good fighters. Some of those fighters were so good from that era that there's still top 10 fighters here today. That's how good they were. Now, what do we see Bermain Stavern doing here today? Not a lot.
Oh, he's retired.
He's doing the same thing I am, man. He's smoking that good shit.
Yeah, God bless him. God bless him.
I don't smoke. I don't smoke.
God bless him, man. He got the eggs and breakfast.
Wow.
Yeah, God bless him. But don't tell me that it wasn't no popping ass fighters. Povetkin was a popping ass fighter, more popping than I'll say Ortiz. He beat better guys than Ortiz by a wide margin. That's not even a contest when we compare their amateur and professional records. That's not even a contest.
So
They might have faced each other in amateurs, right? Povetkin and
you
Ortiz.
guys are sold with the fact that Wilder will never be world champion again, because I think Tyson Fury is going to beat him in the third fight. But I think with other fighters like Joshua, I think Wilder can beat those guys. But I'm not.
John, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Whether outside of like fandoms and all this different stuff, if Fury does the same thing to him again, do you think he's going to retire or continue?
I think he continue. I think he's going to continue.
I don't.
One fighter, if you can't get over this hump against one fighter, doesn't mean you can't get over somebody else. Like,
No, the only reason I'm asking is because Mauricio Suleiman, who had good relationship with Wilder for 4 or 5 years, he said that if Wilder were to lose to Fury again, he's going to retire.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Well, I did. I didn't do a video on it.
That would be a shame, but
Yeah, he got that chance because he hits hard. But look, what happened to Muhammad Ali when he lost to Joe Frazier? He had to climb the ladder again many times to get that second opportunity. I think George Foreman the same when he came back. He had to go through many, and he can do that because he got a respectable punch to where he can lay out all these contenders. But by the time he faces for a title against the young comers, Jalalov and the guys that are coming up, do you think how old is he going to be? He's going to be like 36.
This is what I'm going to do for John, because I could tell that John's real issue with the anecdotes, not necessarily the facts, but the anecdotes and where they come from. The reason that there's a lot of people, and I'm going to try to put this as simply as I can. The reason there's a lot of people that feel that Wilder might retire is because he's had about eight surgeries to his hand. He's had 8 surgeries to his arm. He's 34 now with 35, something like that. It's also a part of that is what Gonzalo said, that, okay, well, if you lose this fight, it's going to be a long road back. And that's why people say that, because I'm thinking that what you feel is that they're being unfair to him, and you're not taking the time out to listen to what those people are saying and why they're saying it, that this guy is injury prone. He is injury prone. After the Areola fight, his bicep curled all the way up into his deltoid. That's very gruesome. I don't know if you've seen the pictures, but that's a very gruesome injury when your bicep tears and rolls up into your deltoid. Those are signs of wear and tear because you keep using the same hand to finish all of your fights.
Yeah,
so you don't.
All right.
You don't have. So true. You don't necessarily have variety and longevity on your side because you finish a lot of these fights with your right hand. To top it all off, you're not a very big heavyweight. You're tall. You're very tall, but you're not very big. You don't have tree trunks for legs like a little ass Mike Tyson had, to where your power is coming from the ground. Wilder's power, believe it or not, and it's going to sound funny, is coming from how much he compromises defense for offense. He throws these wicked, weird-looking fucking punches.
It comes from pure aggression.
And that's an easy way to get, like, I don't know if you ever got a boxer's fracture. When you throw a punch, it's not a boxer's fracture. It's really boxers know better than who's
Gonzalo, mute your mic.
I have a fracture. I have a
all right.
My meniscus.
All right, hold on. Give me a second, Gonzalo. I'm going to mute you for a second, all right? When you get as many injuries as Wilder gets, and it's not like saying getting injuries means you can't box. Lots of guys get injured for different reasons. Sometimes it's just repetitive motions that you end up getting injured. But a lot of times Wilder gets injuries because he has no form. He's not coordinated. That's where his injuries come from, that he's not coordinated. He puts everything into those shots, and you don't have a big enough frame to absorb the brunt of those impacts. So you'll break an arm, you'll tear a muscle. something will pop, and it's because of how crazy you be throwing them punches. You don't have longevity on your side, and you're in a division where you're relying on one punch the same as everybody else. Your quality of competition, in all honesty, is not that good. I don't know that if Wilder, and I'm being honest, I don't know if Wilder would have fought Povetkin. If the fight would have came off, I don't know if Wilder would have kept the belt. I'm not being funny. I don't know if he would have kept it. Why? Because Povetkin bobs and weaves and slips punches and slips jabs, gets close to a guy and throws a left hook. Anthony Joshua has a great jab, regardless of who he fights. But didn't Povetkin hit him with a left hook right in the fucking nose? He closed the gap on that guy. That's a money punch for Povetkin. So when I see Wilder and I see all the things that he doesn't do, I don't see a guy who can keep fighting if he loses to Fury. I don't see, like, bro, how you going to keep fighting? The division is getting worse. You have a lot of skilled fighters that are coming up the ranks. You got cruiserweights joining the division, yeah. You got Usyk, you got Garcia.
You got big, massive motherfuckers in there too. Hergovich, Yoka coming up, man. It's
now I'm gonna say this. All right, you make sense a lot. Didn't think about that because Wilder is a small dude. I didn't realize he was injury prone like that. I know he hurt himself, but I still see him as a threat because of that power. And I'm going to go back to George Foreman. George Foreman came back as a chubby man. He each and every time he fought somebody on the elite level, he got beat up. He kept losing, and he'll win some. He kept losing, and he'll win some. And he won that world title off of what? One punch. But during that process, he was getting beat up.
Hold on. Now, this is what I'm going to say, right? You have to understand, George Foreman was... When George Foreman went to the Olympics, what did he get?
Gold medal.
Now, that already off top tells you that he has a different skill set than Wilder. If you compare the kind of... I mean, he has a different skill set. George Foreman had a very good jab. Watch the Chuvalo fight. He had a very good jab. A better jab than Wilder's, I dare say. But more to the point, you're comparing Wilder to Foreman on the strength of power, whereas Foreman had form when he delivered power, and Wilder does not. That's the problem.
So Wilder didn't show you any form when he knocked out Ortiz the second time around? Because I didn't see that punch coming.
That was a good shot, in all honesty. But
it was the one moment of form he showed me in the fight.
No.
I will say, no, it really was. He didn't, without laughing, without joking. He was getting pieced up with the jab for the majority of the fight. Luis Ortiz got close. He disguised the two off of it, and that's how he won the fight. He didn't win He didn't win a round in the fight, and then he knocked him out.
Let's make it even simpler. What do they call the Southpaw killer, John? What do they call the Southpaw killer? What's Ortiz? He's a Southpaw, right? He leads with the right hand, and his straight left is his power shot. What's the money punch to take out a Southpaw?
And then a shot down the pipe.
Straight right down the pipe.
Yeah.
All right, now what's Wilder's money punch?
The right hand. But I was gonna say something about Arthur Spilker too, because that was set up nice too. And Arthur Spilker was real tricky. He was very slippery.
I'll say
that wasn't actually set up. That was actually a very good reflex punch going backwards.
Exactly.
Spilker came in and he reflex punched him. That wasn't a setup off of anything.
If Spilker wouldn't have dove in with that retarded, I think Spilker was trying to throw a big left and he got caught. I think it was a big left, and that had more to do with Spilker's mistake. But I credit Wilder for capitalizing on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wilder's a very good ambush fighter. That's what he is. He's an ambush viper.
Yeah, and when you mentioned that point, John, about Foreman knocking out Moore, and Ring IQ just brought up that point about the Southpaw killer. Moore was also a left-handed guy that got taken out by a right hand. But then you're also asking Deontay Wilder to equal or to beat something that nobody had ever done before. Is a guy that was like 42 years of age knocking out a younger guy. That's only been done once. You're asking him to do a great achievement.
Hey, here's also the main problem. Hi, everybody. How you doing?
How you doing, BD?
Good. Thank you for having me on, man.
What's up, Mr. BD?
Hey, how you doing, man? Here's the main problem with Wilder, too. Everything you guys are saying is correct, too. Here's the other main problem with Wilder, and he has a lot. The cat's out of the bag now. If you push him back, he can't counterpunch. He couldn't counterpunch against Fury. The two punches he landed, or the two rounds in which he had the most success, was in the first two rounds. After that, when he was getting backed up, he did not land a single punch backing up. Now, he did catch Spilka, but Spilka did the thing you're never supposed to do in boxing, which is to lead with an uppercut. unless I'm mistaken. I think he did try to lead with a left uppercut, and he got caught. Now, okay, credit to Wilder. I don't believe in lucky punches. If you throw a punch, you created your own moment. Credit to you.
Exactly.
But he can't back up though. And here's the other problem. For most of his career, Wilder, his main form of defense is to lean back, stand his arms with his chin up in the air. Now, very few guys took advantage of that because power perceived is power achieved. Everybody assumed that he could counterpunch. So people didn't really like to press him all that much. One of the guys that had the balls to do it was Duhaupas. And he was catching Wilder a lot. Now, like you guys were saying, there's some real monsters out there. Some guys with a real lot of size, a lot of bulk, big necks, who are going to be able to absorb shots better, and they're going to be coming forward. They're going to pressure Wilder. And if Wilder does not fix his mistakes, and if he doesn't learn how to counterpunch, he's going to be in trouble, man.
Okay, yeah. Now, I'm not saying these guys are on the level of a Tyson Fury, because you're right. Tyson Fury, pressed Wilder and pushed him back. 270-pound skilled boxer, you're in trouble. But
where did he press him from, though?
What do you mean when he pressed him from? He went after him.
Did he press him on the inside, or did he press him from?
Well, he dominated Wilder from the outside and the inside. So he went and he pressed him and he outboxed him.
Did anybody other than Tyson Fury that Wilder ever fought against have a reach advantage over Deontay Wilder to be able to press him from range, to keep out of his right hand from range?
I was going to say Chris Arreola. Chris Arreola went after Deontay Wilder too.
Wait, no. You completely misheard my question. I said, did anybody have a reach advantage over Wilder other than Tyson Fury to be able to press him from range?
No.
Do you see where the problem is there?
I'm going to characterize it as simply as I can, right? All right, John. You got guys, and I'm not telling you that they would beat Wilder now. You understand? If the fight were tomorrow, Wilder's actually got a shot. The problem is you got a generation of big men that have the same kind of dimensions and more body than Wilder that are being integrated into the division. You got guys like Joyce. He's a big guy. Dubois is a big guy. The unrapeable guy. What's his name, Mark? The unrapeable guy. He's unrapeable, Mark.
Arslanbek Makhmudov. Sorry, I was muted.
Makhmudov, all right? You got a generation of guys like this. Some of these guys... You got these guys, some of them have great amateur backgrounds, some of them don't, but some of them have a lot of size, a lot of tools. Wilder's in his mid-30s now. He's had several surgeries already, all right? I didn't even know until recently that he had to get another surgery because of the fucking Fury fight, all right? These are not good signs. Wilder is not a big-bodied heavyweight, and he doesn't have the skill. Like, he doesn't, and I'm not saying it to be funny. He doesn't have the skill for longevity.
Yeah, and I also would like to say that, look, a lot of people will say, well, does he have skill or does he not have skill? And I completely understand why he's not that developed, because he started late. He started very late, I believe, when he was 28 years old. And another thing, what's the curse of a puncher? A lot of punchers will do that goes against them. They'll rely on their punch to where they're not practicing their boxing skills. Now, a lot of fighters are good at doing that, like Sergey Kovalev. They're punchers that can box, but most of them will not. They will rely on their power, and that's the curse of a puncher that goes against Deontay Wilder, because he's not taking advantage of his boxing ability. And to add that, he started late, so that doesn't work out too well for him.
So you don't think Wilder boxed good against Chris Arreola?
That's Chris Arreola.
I mean, I understand, but a guy hasn't. I know what you guys are doing.
John, I'm gonna break this down brutally. I'm gonna break this down as brutally and honestly as I can. Arreola is shit.
Of course, but he has experience to beat you. Especially
all of his.
He beat Seth Mitchell. I mean, you could arguably say Seth.
I can go more rounds with Arreola than Seth Mitchell did.
Okay, no, I'm gonna make it even better. I'm gonna make it even better. All right, because once again, I'm not being funny. Look at Chris Arreola, right? Look at him as a physical specimen, and look across the landscape of all the heavyweights that are coming up. Which one of them looks like Chris Arreola?
You talking about the dude, babyface? He just got beat. Kawaki.
No, Adam is a little bigger than Chris Arreola, but coincidentally, didn't he beat Chris Arreola?
Yeah, but a very, very tough fight. But Chris Arreola.
But this is my point. Look, this is the point I'm trying to make to you, right? All right. Chris Arreola, God bless him and his family. He does not represent the heavyweights that are coming. The second wave, he doesn't represent them at all. The second wave is a wave of guys that the average height is anywhere from 6'4" to 6'7". All right, they got dimensions like Wilder, but some of these guys have better amateur backgrounds than Wilder, like Tony Yoka. You know what I'm saying? Some of these guys are really big punchers. So when you look at a guy like Wilder, who's injury prone, he's not a big-bodied heavyweight. He has limitations as far as skill set. You ask yourself, does this guy stick around long enough to where these young guys are going to challenge him? And I dare say no. He's made millions. Remember, he made a 30, regardless of whatever, whether it was a clusterfuck or not. At minimum, this guy got $30 million for that last fight. All right? He got $30 million. It's hard to get out of bed to go get punched in the face. You go in there another time with Fury. You lose again. But at minimum, let's say you make another 30. You're going to stick around. You just got $60 million for 2 fights.
Damn.
And go back to what Hagler said. It's hard to get out of bed to do road work when you're sleeping in satin sheets.
And that fight with Arreola that you bring up, I was surprised how he performed it in the losing effort because they threw a lot of punches combined between him and Kaunaki. But Arreola, and in this at that fight, being an older man, he was in better shape than he had ever been in his whole career going back.
They all say
that. Gonzalo, what if I told you that I felt, having watched that fight, that Chris wanted to fight more than Adam did? Adam was not there to fight. Adam thought Chris is going to lay down. That's what when I saw that fight, that's what I thought. And Adam, coincidentally, after that, when he starts talking about that he don't be in shape and this and that, I'm like, see, that's why this is happening to these guys, because they know that they're going to get put in there with someone who's perceived to be easy, not realizing these fighters that are on the ass end of their careers, they're the equivalent of a tiger that's getting old, and a tiger that's getting old is fucking dangerous because he knows he's getting old. One last hoorah, bro. I don't got nothing to lose fighting you.
That's right, like Nonito Onaire, right? Nonito Onaire is losing effort. Yep.
Isn't that the best example? Nobody thought, including me, I didn't think Nonito was going to go in there and go for broke like that, but he did.
Yo, I called that. I called that he'd go the distance and lose on points.
Shout out to Mark.
I was going to ask you guys something like this. Going back to the Wilder. So you're basically saying guys like Daniel Dubois and Dillian White's all bad for Deontay Wilder because of what Fury did to him.
No,
I think that Dillian White has always been wrong for Deontay Wilder because Dillian is a pressure guy and he has a quality left hook. And Wilder doesn't have the right jab to defend. He doesn't have the right setup to defend against that kind of puncher. I've said, and you can go back to videos that I've made years ago before he even lost to Fury. I said mid-range to inside, Wilder's no good. When he can get full extension on his punches, he's dangerous. But Dillian is not trying to stay on the outside with you. Well, at least he wouldn't with Wilder. He'd get mid-range to inside on him, work his body, and look to land a looping shot upstairs. And he'd land the shot, man. He'd land the shot.
It's the easiest land to shot and the most dangerous punch in boxing. If you're a right-hander, that lead left hook is the closest punch to your face. It's your front hand, and all you got to do is turn it a little, and he punches hard with it, Dillian White. So that's his most dangerous punch, and that's the most dangerous punch in boxing.
Dillian White, believe it or not, and I understand if you didn't feel that way or you don't feel that way now. It took me time to see that, like, oh shit, now I get it. Now I see why Dillian White's all wrong for this guy. It like at first I thought if Dillian goes in there with Wilder, you can get knocked the fuck out. That's literally what I thought. You could check the videos. And if you watch video after video, I started to realize, like, yo, Dillian's all wrong for this guy, man. He's a body puncher. He's a mid-range to inside guy. He's got a good left hook that he's developing. He's even starting to develop a pretty good jab that he can keep a guy out with. He's all wrong for Wilder. He's all wrong for him. And that's just Dillian, bro. That's just Dillian. You know, maybe he could beat Dillian. I won't dismiss his chances. Wilder can punch. The historical stuff, throw it out of the window. No, he's not one of the biggest punchers in history. I'm sorry, but he's not. I know the history, and he's not one of them. Is he a big puncher, though? Yes, he's a very big puncher. Don't let him hit you clean. He'll knock you out. Granted. Yeah. But he doesn't know how to set up the shot. He doesn't know how to disguise it. Why you think Buddy McGirt said Wilder's problem is little shit. He doesn't know how to disguise the right hand. You got two hands, right? Use them. Get creative. Go look up the video I did about Buddy McGirt. You're gonna see Buddy McGirt on the thumbnail.
I'm gonna say this. I think you have a point. All of you have a point, but I'm gonna say this. I think it's Jamal, the smaller one. When he started off,
That's Jermel. That's Jermel.
Okay. When he started off, he was a pure boxer, and then he found this amazing power, right? And I guess he got. I'm not gonna say amazing, but his power was winning fights, and he got.
All right, I'm gonna say this. Both the Charlo brothers, at least as long as I've been watching them, which is a while. It is a while. They've always been boxer punchers. Wilder's problem, believe it or not, Wilder is a decent counterpuncher. Believe it or not, he's like a decent counterpuncher. He has timing. I don't think he knows it. I certainly don't think JD's knows it. Otherwise, you would have did something with it. Or maybe you just don't know how to develop a guy's jab, or maybe you don't know how to just teach him how to do certain shit. Whatever. The point is, Wilder's a decent boxer puncher with an affinity for counterpunching. He's actually decent at that. I don't think they took him as far as they could go with that, but that is literally what he's got. He's got good timing. Wilder's problem is that he doesn't have enough of a jab. He literally doesn't have enough.
And that's a good point, IQ. Because look, if you can throw a jab, what are you gonna do with your jab? You're gonna pop the guy in his forehead to push his eyes up. That way, you can throw a sneaky right hand behind it. Disguise it. You're gonna pop that guy in the eye, so he'll blink, close his eyes, and you can come right behind it with the right hand. So if you're just using the jab to probe, to do damage, whatnot, you can use it effectively to disguise that right hand.
You see how Wilder uses his jab. He just I'm not even going to call it a jab. He'll take his left hand. He'll take his, but it can be more than a rangefinder. It can be more than that. Don't just float the left hand out there. Pop it out there. Get the guy looking at it. And he's looking at that left so he don't see the right coming. The way that Wilder gets the knockout is not necessarily by psyching the guy out. The fight goes on for so long that the guy loses about a half a second, and then you hit him with the right hand. But you getting beat up, you getting hit, and you're losing rounds up until that point. With Ortiz, that's what happened both times. Ortiz is winning this fight until his old ass slowed down by a half a second, and you catch him with that right.
And the problem with that too is Wilder is getting slower. Well, one of his main advantages was the hand speed. Now he's into his 30s. He's not gonna be getting quicker unless he works on that timing. And that's his main weapon, like you said, the right hand. Now, if you look at the first Fury fight, he was doing what you wanted him to do, more or less, with the lead left hand. He was leading with left hooks to the body. And you could tell when he landed with that left hook to the body against Fury, Fury was frozen. He was frozen stiff, and that was the way. You make him wait for the right hand, but you distract him with something else. Then once you get him distracted with something else, then you go with the right hand. Now, if I see this, don't you think they've been trying to instill this onto Deontay Wilder? But for some reason, it's just not happening.
I'm gonna say what it is, BDA. It's Shelly fucking Finkel, who doesn't know nothing about grooming no fucking fighter. The truth is, Wilder's a good physical specimen for a heavyweight, especially in today's era where everybody's a little bit slow. If he had the right people, like I'll say, let's say Wilder had Sugar Hill from the get, he'd be a better fighter. Why? Because that's a Kronk style fighter, and Wilder has Kronk style dimensions.
And that's true.
The people that he got, got fucking JD's, who's a Pilates instructor, and you listen to him more than you listen to Mark Breland. Now, what I'm gonna tell you to do, John, go watch Mark Breland when he was a fighter. You got the right guy there for you. Like, he has dimensions, relatively speaking, that are similar to the dimensions that Wilder has relative to his division. This guy could teach you what you need to know. For whatever reason, it hasn't happened, and I can only deduce you must be listening to JD's more than you listening to Mark Breland. Mark Breland, he's a bad motherfucker. But
he's a fucking
going.
Yeah, John, if I were to ask you who's the greatest amateur in American boxing history, you'd tell me Mark Breland, right?
I'm gonna say Mark. Well, I'm gonna ride Rashi Warren because I know Rashi Warren because I actually watched him fight my buddy Mike Dallas. So I want to say Rashi Warren. from
He's
America.
better than an Olympic gold medalist, 5-time Golden Glove.
I guess I'm being biased because I actually
Yeah,
know
that is being biased.
Yeah,
Huh?
that guy can pop. He's
That's
around now.
like me
That's
turning
heavyweight
around
be
and
known.
saying like the best amateur I've ever seen is a dude who I've seen fight over a dude who's won everything.
Yeah. Plus, he's a flyweight. Not to discriminate against the lower weights, but look,
He's a bantamweight.
he's a bantamweight now. Well, he was a flyweight when he was an amateur. So think about Ricardo Lopez. He's a great Mexican fighter, but he's not considered to be the greatest because
That was
there's
funny,
guys in
man.
higher.
That came out of fucking left field, Rasheed Warren. That caught me off guard.
Yeah.
you said America.
Yeah, Ricardo Lopez was basically undefeated as a professional.
He's giving you an analogy, John.
Okay, go ahead.
He only lost one time, but then he avenged it, or he drew, but he was undefeated. Ricardo Lopez. And
Ricardo Lopez retired undefeated with a draw.
Yeah, he's possibly could be considered the greatest Mexican fighter of all time, but he's not. I don't know why, but they'll consider like the higher weights more important. So it's like, because one thing that you can say about that, the smaller guys throw a lot more punches, but in the grand scheme of things, if you get bigger, like relative to your size, you're not going to throw as much punches. So
Finito don't get the love. Finito don't get the love that he should, but we gonna work on that on Ring IQ. The point that I'm making, John, is right. Go back and watch old footage of Mark Breland as a professional, as an amateur. Just watch this stuff and look at his physical dimensions. He looks like a little Wilder, right? He's just more fundamentally sound than Wilder. So you've got the right guy for the job. But for whatever reason, I don't know why you're not soaking up. Maybe, I don't know if is he a bad teacher or are you a bad student? I don't know.
It's the curse of the puncher IQ that he knows that he can have, that he has power, that he just expects to knock the other guy out. That's what's wrong with him. And aside, John, aside from the first Verne fight, you can only see that Wilder uses that jab as a rangefinder, as a measuring stick. You can use it as a measuring stick.
But this is the sad part. He could have a piston jab like a Triple G. Triple G has a piston jab. It's like a piston when he shoots that fucking jab. That's literally what it's like. Like if you get that front foot and you inch forward, there's going to be a jab that's going to meet you at the door. It's going to check you. Wilder doesn't use his jab like that for some reason. I don't know why. You have the dimensions for it, but he doesn't do it.
I think Sergey Kovalev jab.
Sergey's jab is like, and I don't like Sergey as a human being, but as a boxer, he has a fabulous fucking jab. It's fabulous. And he don't just use it as a piston or just as a rangefinder. Do a lot of shit with that motherfucking left hand. Wilder has the dimensions to where this could be the arsenal. You would expect this if you look at him, that this should be his arsenal. But he doesn't have it. Now, who's been his career-long manager? Who's been his manager for the duration of his entire career?
With Al Heyman or that
no.
That's
Shelly Finkel. Before
Al
Heyman. Now, before Al Heyman even came into it, Shelly Finkel was there. Shelly Finkel, and I've been saying this for at least a year and a half now. Wilder's at where he's at is because of Shelly Finkel. Because Shelly Finkel is a country music guy trying to be a boxing guy.
Wow.
He doesn't know nothing about grooming, no motherfucker. And really, I'm gonna say, and you're not.
He's a parasite.
Oh yeah, he is. He is. Al is not a boxing guy, and you got to understand what I mean when I say that.
He's a businessman.
He's not a boxing guy. He doesn't know how to make a fighter. If John is my fighter, I have to keep John in a perpetual state of war in his own mind, because that's what's going to make him a great fighter. That's what's going to make him a great fighter. You don't take your foot off the gas. You don't stop listening. You don't stop learning. Every guy that I put you in there with has a chance to beat you. So that's going to keep you up at night and keep you in that gym. Now, Al has a lot of guys that they not there, bro. That them guys think they superstars already. They worried about the pay-per-view, not realizing, Brody, you about to go in here with Ivan Redkach. You supposed to knock Ivan out. Why? Because John Molina knocked him out. John Molina knocked him out in 4 rounds. Dejan Zlaticanin knocked him out in 4 rounds. You Danny Garcia. Why is Ivan Redkach going 12 rounds with Danny Garcia at 147? What's happening?
That's true.
If that's If that's happening, it's because you not in the right frame of mind. Get this motherfucker out of there so you could go home early. Get him out of there.
Yeah, and there's a lot of evidence. There's a lot of evidence in all the fights that this has been happening to the PBC. The evidence is there. Look at all the fights these fighters have had. Even if they won them, the results been controversial, and they should have done them better than what they did. Just think Tank Davis and the Charlo brothers.
Now,
Maybe Rigandao, whatnot.
What I'm gonna say to John is, I know John has questioned why is it that a channel like mine is against the PBC, right? That's got to be a question you've had, and you've gone way left with it, not listening to what I'm saying. You're not like now. Maybe now you're listening. Al Heyman is not a boxing guy; he's a music guy.
Yeah, he was with Destiny's Child. Yeah,
he's a music
The first
guy.
fight that Al Heyman promoted was the Vernon Forrest fight against Shane Mosley. That's the first time he ever promoted a fight.
You asked me why I say that Bob Arum knows what he's doing. Because Floyd Mayweather, a talented fighter like Floyd Mayweather, yes, he went on to do his own thing. I don't deny that for a second. I'm a fan of him today, even now. But that's a guy that Bob Arum groomed. That's a Bob Arum groomed guy. That's where that came from. All right. Floyd had a work ethic that no PBC fighter has. That's the truth.
Yeah.
That motherfucker wasn't getting fat between fights. Even when he was retired, he still stayed around his fight weight.
I think it's because the money. These guys are comfortable with the money. So I was going to ask
the money and the time off.
What was that?
Time off and the tune-up.
Let him go, Gonzalo. Let him go. Go ahead, John.
Like you got a music guy, right? This is what I'm trying to communicate to you, John. When you see Heyman, you got a music guy trying to make fighters. You a music guy, bro. You got to keep these fighters in a perpetual state of war in their own mind so that they could be the best version of themselves. Keith shouldn't lose to no 40-year-old Manny Pacquiao. It shouldn't happen. That was a passing of the torch fight. That was a passing of the torch fight. You gonna tell me that Jeff Horn from Australia was holding his own against Manny better than you? He was roughing Manny up, pushing his little ass around. You Keith Thurman.
Yeah.
You was in there with Sean Porter. Sean Porter's a bad motherfucker. But when you come back, you're not hungry. Like, oh, I'm in here with Manny. This easy money. No, it's not. No, ain't no easy money. You gotta go in there putting you at the forefront. Oh, you think you a star already? You turning down fights, you turning down M's. Don't you remember what Floyd said? Floyd himself said Al is paying these guys too much money.
Yeah.
I had to go out there
too. That does.
You remember when he said, yo, I would go into the shit and I ask a motherfucker, yo, what's out there? It's a $5,000 fight out there. I take it. He said that. That's Floyd saying that.
That's
all
true.
Right. And he helped build what is PBC today. The difference is Floyd had the work ethic. They're like, nah, I'll take it. I'll beat that motherfucker. Remember how many concessions did Floyd make to Oscar? He made all kind of concessions that the PBC fighters today would not make for that same opportunity. But Floyd believed in him. Like, man, I'll beat Oscar. Just put him in there. You wanted it at your weight? Go ahead. You want your gloves? Go ahead. Whatever you want, go ahead. Because when the bell rings, I'm gonna beat you.
Now I'm gonna ask all you guys a question. All 6 of you guys. It's kind of off topic, but it's still boxing conversation. Do you think Manny Pacquiao and Terrence Crawford is a go? Because they're talking about it.
I said in my last video, it wasn't the last, it was the one before that. I said I don't believe that because it's all coming from one side.
And what side?
When I see Manny is saying it or Sean Gibbons or Boo Boy, then I'll believe it. But I remember what Boo Boy said after the Thurman fight, and I remember what Sean Gibbons said after the Thurman fight. They asked him about fighting the winner of Spence and Porter because they hadn't fought yet. And they asked him about it, and they was like, we don't get nothing out of that. That's high risk, low reward. We don't get nothing out of that. Boo Boy said it in to protect him. Manny, we don't get nothing out of that. That's what his people is saying. I ain't gonna say Manny said that. You ask Manny, he probably tell you something different. But these are the people that have gotten his career, and that's what they said. So if you ask me, are they down to put him in there with Terrence Crawford? I'm telling you, Crawford will hurt that man. You don't want to believe it because you think I'm on some anti-whatever. Crawford will hurt that man. Real bad.
Yeah. And if you're expecting Manny to jump into a super fight, unification title fight immediately, I don't know how that would work. You kind of go against him either way because look, he needs to be in shape, but he's also older. This Corona thing has affected him amongst a couple other fighters. The most, I think you mentioned Teofimo Lopez Lomachenko fight. Yeah, but Manny Pacquiao is going to be 42 years old, so he needs a fight to prepare, and by that time he's going to be looking at 43. That's I don't think that's good for him.
And bear in mind, we ain't talking about heavyweights. If we talking heavyweights, yeah, you got a shot. You got a shot because your punch is the last thing to go in. The heavyweights don't rely on their speed and reflexes as much as the little guys. But we're talking about welterweights. You're talking about a welterweight Manny Pacquiao, all right? A Crawford fight? That's a terrible fucking idea. You could have had that fucking fight 4 or 5 years ago. What you gonna have it now for? For the WBO?
To add to that, Pacquiao was a tiny welterweight. He had to move up a lot.
Not but 3 or yeah, it was 3 years ago. Not but 3 years. He says he has to eat his way to welterweight. He ain't cutting weight. He has to eat his way there because he a little motherfucker. So Crawford, do I think they bought
Get out of here, man. I gotta do this workout.
Hey, by the way, before you go, John,
Yo, what's up?
Something. Yeah, you think I'm a racist?
Who is this?
This is BDA Boxing.
Oh, yeah. I ain't gonna. I don't want to start this on Ring IQ's page.
Okay, well,
if you have a live,
let me talk this. I'll tell you this to make it quick.
If you go live, I'll join you because I don't want to.
Let me speak, please. We got an open door policy over at BDA Boxing. You can drop in anytime because I don't do that. You make a video about me, I make a video about you. I focus on the boxing. So if you want to drop by anytime, you can see there the notifications if you subscribe, and we can talk about it there. All right.
All right. I'll be there.
All right, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. I have drunken about 6 glasses of wine. GM Strong. Shout out to GM Strong. I appreciate that. I'm fucking sleepy. So I'm going to sleep.
I'll still give Manny Pacquiao a chance, IQ. I still give him a chance. Possibly because the same thing that, okay, he's small. That has made him successful where he got the speed and reflexes, but he's getting old. He is old already.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I'm going to tell you
still give him a chance.
My short list of guys I think he has a chance against. My short list. I think he has a chance against Danny Garcia because Danny doesn't throw enough punches, whereas Manny still, even now, he throws more punches than Danny. He's a busier fighter at 40-some years old. I don't know about Manny and Sean. I'm not even going to get into that. But I think he has a chance against Danny. I think he has a chance against Mikey because even though Mikey's a very strong puncher, he's very economic. Mikey doesn't throw punches in bunches. That's the shit. Mikey fuck around, hurts him with a shot. He catch him with a shot, but he gonna get hit a lot, and I don't know how he's gonna feel about that. Man, hit. Who else? What other welter? Yeah, I mean that's the guys I think Manny has a legitimate fighting chance against. I think he has a fighting chance against Mikey.
No.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yo, mother.
I don't know what I'm gonna get with Spence. That's why.
It's because the interesting thing about Crawford and Spence, I think they're left-handers too. So that'd be an interesting matchup against another southpaw.
I'm gonna teach you a valuable lesson here. If you need to go, you say you need to go, right? Gonzalo will keep talking to you about this point.
All right. Short version. Manny's accustomed to walking into every single fight with the southpaw advantage, right? But he's older. Put him in there with another southpaw. He doesn't even have that advantage now. Oh, shit. This guy's a southpaw like me. We're going to be tripping over each other out here. Difference is this guy's younger. I'm not saying I would pick Spence to win the fight. I'm not going to put Spence into it because I literally don't know where he is right now. Hopefully he gets better. Hopefully. But if it's Crawford, I'm trying to tell you, he will hurt Manny. He will. He would hurt him. He'd punish him worse than a 42-year-old man needs to be punished. You don't need to get hit that hard when you're 42 fucking years old. Trust me. Now, Danny's got a shot. Mikey's got a shot.
Yeah, interesting.
right now. I'm gonna
Interesting
get the
stuff.
fuck out of here because I gotta take a piss, and I don't think y'all want to listen to me too.
Hey,
All right.
you don't know that. You don't know that.